pass. Rolling to his right. They throw it. The in route to Tanner. Steck makes the catch. Steck dives for the pylon. Touchdown!
Up by the Nuggets and an attack. That'll go for a kill from Anasteer.
Lamar looks for a block, makes a man miss at the 5. End zone touchdown, swirls. Sets up middle. Jensen for the exclamation point kill.
30, the 20, the 15, the 10, and an 85-yard touchdown run for Landon Olsen.
Ulster Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
And welcome to West Fargo football fans. James Martins, Chase Miller, Grace Lear on the camera here with you on Your Live Event, yourliveevent.com as the Shanley Deacons take on the West Fargo Packers here at West Fargo High Packer Stadium. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we have a pregame interview with West Fargo head coach Jay Gibson.
For 20 years, 702 Communications has been connecting people and businesses to the world through internet, telephone, and TV. And as your needs have changed, so has 702. Our dedication to our community and customers runs deep. So when you call, we listen. And you can trust that we'll never stop working to bring the latest technology to our friends and neighbors. Thank you for 20 years in business. The best is yet to come.
In Hope, North Dakota, we aren't just a town, we're a community, one that you can be proud of, where you and your family can grow. With available jobs, affordable housing, a golf course and pool, the Sportsman Club, and great educational opportunities. There hasn't been a better time to join the Hope community, ideally located between Fargo, Grand Forks, and Jamestown. For more information, go to www.hopend.com. Live, work, and play in Hope, North Dakota.
As we continue on our pregame show here tonight from Castleton between the Central Cass Squirrels and the Sargent County Bulldogs, it's the Region 1 opener for both teams, the season opener for Central Cass. Joining us now is Central Cass head coach, that is Dana Stansberry. And Dana, first things first, it's the end of August, so finally get to get on the volleyball court here. You're going to have a ton of volleyball in the next couple weeks, hosting a tournament next Saturday as well. But first and foremost, as a coach, what's the excitement level going into a brand new season?
We are ready to play. These girls.
And welcome back to the pregame show here on Your Live Event, yourliveevent.com. I'm James Martins. Please be joined by the head coach of the West Fargo Packers in Jay Gibson. And Jay, thanks so much for extending some of your busy schedule for our pregame show. And just walk me through last week, a high-flying game, came up just short to Bismarck Century, 46-40. Your thoughts on the contest?
Sure. Thanks. By the way, James, thanks for going through all the technical difficulties to get me on Zoom. Anyway, I haven't been involved in too many of those type of games. Both Wingenbach from Century and myself try to be defensive coaches. We're more interested in a 21-7 game or a 21-14. And I think each team stopped the other team twice on drives, and it was back and forth. They got the lead and we fought back and got the lead. And then just before half, they scored 2 touchdowns with 4 minutes to go. And my college basketball coach, Dave Gunther, always said, you need to win the end of the first half. And you need to win the first 4 minutes of the second half and the last 4 minutes of the game. Of course, that's basketball. There's 20 minutes, but it's true because they made the plays right. They scored with 17 seconds to make it a 2-score spread. So I think they're a good team. And then, but we fought back and we scored the first drive of the second half and we ended up getting the lead. And they got the lead back, I think, with a minute 30. And I actually, the way the game was going, thought we were sitting pretty. It was really amazing. They had a balanced attack. I didn't see stats. The digital scout program that we all used for stats is now defunct. So we have to go back and do them manually. So I haven't done them yet, but I know they had 200-yard rushers, and I knew they threw for over 100 yards. So I'm thinking they were in 450 to 500 yards. And Brady threw for 359, and we had about 80 yards rushing on the side of that. So we were over 400 yards. So I tell you what, there wasn't a lot of people tackling anyone.
What a wild and crazy game. It seems like, Jay, you've been around for quite many years, and you've seen the EDC, you've seen the WDA, you've seen lots of eras of football. Where are we at with North Dakota high school football right now in the top class, you think?
Well, I'm a little disappointed in the state's decision to break up we were AAA, now we're AA, and they changed the name. So it might be confusing to someone that I'm explaining this, but we have a 4-team conference. So I think we play Shanley the 6th game of the year, and you have Cheyenne, I'm sorry, Cheyenne the 6th game of the year. We have no more conference games. So they have some magic formula that they use. The West has 7 teams. We have 4. So I'm a little disappointed in that because at one time we had 11 teams. You couldn't even, that was a problem too, because the schedule is only 9 games. You couldn't play everyone. So that was kind of an issue too. But I think as far as football goes, it is way more wide open than it was 30 years ago, and probably even 15 years ago. You play a guy like Mattern at Shanley, and they'll throw it. They throw so many passes behind the line of scrimmage, so they're still passes, but they're really high percentage passes, and he's got some young guys that can catch the ball and run. And what I'm really impressed with is their receivers block like crazy. So they just march up and down the field at will. Sometimes they make a mistake, and you got to make them pay if you get fortunate enough to get a interception or maybe a fumble. But we also threw it. So anyone that's coming to the game better bring some extra money for some concessions, because if they throw as many times as they do, and we threw 39 passes last week, the game is going to be a 3.5-hour game.
Oh, well, I can't wait. It's going to be a fun one for sure. And Jay, tell me a little bit, give me a brief insight about your team for our viewers and myself that haven't really seen you in action yet this year. Tell me about your playmakers. Tell me about your team.
Sure. The offense did extremely well, and the defense did not. We didn't tackle very well. We didn't get off blocks. So we got an awful lot of work to do on the defensive side. Offensively, I was really impressed with Keaton McGregor. He got 13 catches and 247 yards receiving. I think last year he had 230 yards receiving, so he already has more yards in one game. What I was impressed with is he came back to the ball. One of the touchdowns that he scored, the Century D-back was sitting there waiting to catch the ball, and Keaton came back and slipped around him and caught it right in front of him and then walked in the end zone. And he had more catches than that, but that one was just, I hadn't seen anything like that. And Ross Danielson works with them, and we're always talking about come back to the ball, meet the pass. It's no different than basketball. You meet the pass. If you're drifting away, someone can step in front and get the pass. But Brady Medina is an awful good quarterback. He gets the ball and he gets rid of it on time. I haven't had, and I've coached an awful lot of quarterbacks over the decades, and there's not many of them that have had a release like that. Mark Morris was my first quarterback here in West Fargo. He had a quick release too, and no one could get to him. So when you get rid of the ball quick, that shows me that you understand what the route combinations are. You understand what the defense is trying to do, and you're throwing to the guy that potentially is open. And there were a couple times our guys didn't have their heads turned around yet because he recognized the opening right away. So we had just a wonderful game in the air. Tony Leal also had like 8 catches. I don't know what his total yards were, but throwing for 350 yards in a high school game is really something.
Wow, some great playmakers for sure, and going to be on both sides of the ball. Jay, anything else you're looking at specifically in the matchup with Mattern's Deacons?
No, they're where they've improved the most, and he would even tell you that when they won the state championship last year, was on the defensive side of the ball. They're really sound. I don't know what they call their defense, but it looks like a 44. And I tell you, their guys are really well schooled up, and they know they're really fundamentally sound, and they got a heck of a weight program because they're all strong. I just think that is an area where they have an edge. We have to improve on recognizing where the football is. Century did basically what they wanted to. They ran the ball and threw the ball when it was 3rd and long and completed them. So we worked pretty hard this week, and we'll see if we can improve.
Jay, getting a chance to play in front of your home fans, how does that feel?
It's good. I've been at this so long that I just want to show up and coach. I actually like the preparation, the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday preparation for the game, and trying to put in a wrinkle or trying to defend their top 3 plays. It seems simple, but it's not. But it's real. It's just exhilarating to me, and it's fun to try to figure out how can we cause problems for them, so maybe we can stay in the game and maybe get them at the end. So playing at home, playing away, to me it doesn't matter, but players are always happy to be at home. You have more fans there, they have their friends there, and the kids nowadays that come to the football games, they have themes and they're all wearing a jersey, or they're all dressed up as hunters, or whatever the gimmick is that week. So, that adds to it, and that kind of brings the whole school together. So that part is really neat.
Jay, anything else you want to mention to our viewers about the Packers or about the matchup against the Deacons?
Yeah, no, I think we're still working at it. We're going to be ready for them, and it should really be a fun game. But if we both throw as many times as I said, it's going to be a long game.
Get your popcorn, get your hot dogs, get your sodas, get everything together. It's going to be a great one against between West Fargo and Shanley. That's West Fargo Packer head football coach Jay Gibson joining us. And Jay, best of luck, and we'll see what happens in the end.
Yep, thank you very much.
Buying a new home, but worried about the interest rate and terms from your bank? At First Class Mortgage, we'll find a mortgage that fits your needs. Shopping national banks and other lenders for the lowest rate and most affordable terms, saving you time and money. So all you need to worry about is enjoying your new home. First Class Mortgage, our expertise, your peace of mind. Put an expert to work for you. Call today.
I'm Darian Bitts. I'm confident on and off the field. And when it's time for college, I'm confident Bank of North Dakota will help me make good student loan decisions. Visit bnd.nb.gov/confident.
I'm Doug Gray. I'm confident during the performance and when it's time for college. I'm confident Bank of North Dakota will help me make good student loan decisions. Visit bnd.nd.gov/confident.
James Martin's here on the pregame show ahead of the kickoff between the West Fargo Packers and the Shanley Deacons. Please be joined now by the head coach of the Shanley boys high school football team, and Troy Mattern. And Troy, got your season off to a great start last week, a big 35-7 win over the Bismarck Demons. I know it's always tough to play a Bismarck or Bismarck Century or even Bismarck Legacy squad. Your thoughts on coming away with the win?
Yeah, I think you hit it right there. It's number one, it's a win. When you get into that first game, you really don't know what to expect, even though, with the rosters, who returns what, just a lot of unknown variables in that first game. So at the end of the day, it's just nice to get one game under our belt. Now there's film on every team. There's rosters on every team, who's playing, who's not. So that first game is always a crapshoot. So it was good to start the way we did. Obviously playing at home on our new turf was a lot of excitement, a lot of energy in the air. But yeah, we're excited with the result, obviously. And we know we had to put that behind us quickly because we got a really good West Fargo team that we're looking forward to playing now.
Absolutely. And before we talk about West Fargo, Troy, team ranked number 1 in AAA football all across the state of North Dakota, really, as the defending state champions. Your response to that ranking?
That's just that. It's last year's ranking. It's based off of the success we had last year. Different team this year. A lot of those kids did play on that team, but we know that because we are the defending champs and we won our first game, that's the target we're going to have. We expect that target, to last most of the season, if not all the season. So it doesn't matter who we play, when we play them. We know being at Shanley that we're going to have a target on our back and we got to be ready for every opponent. But, we're humbled by it too. It's a great honor, especially, when we decide to move back to the big schools, with our first season being in 2019, it just kind of validates that what we're doing here at Shanley is working, and the credit to our kids and the amount of time and effort they've put in to get us to this point. So on that aspect, it's really humbling for our football program to know that we are in the conversation with the best of the best in AAA football.
In the win over the Demons, it was a pretty textbook game, good offense, good defense, but as a coach, you always look for things to improve upon. What have you been looking at improving upon this last week in practice?
I think just the execution. I think if you get into any football game, there's the good, bad, and the ugly, and our job is to clean up the bad and the ugly, and that's been our emphasis this year. And it's probably the biggest thing is you just have kids that are, that had their first varsity snap last Friday. So you want to get those kids cleaned up, get them acclimated to the speed of the game. But like I said before, now we have film. Now we can see where the areas of improvement are needed. And I think probably the biggest thing that we talked about as a coaching staff when we met is just we need more depth. We probably didn't play enough kids. So I think our emphasis this week is get more kids on the field. The best way to figure out if they're ready is by throwing them to the fire. So I think this Friday, our emphasis is just to get more kids, more reps, and valuable minutes.
Obviously, in the top class of football, every team is going to be an opportunity to throw kids into the fire, and no more so than heading to a program that's had a lot of success over the decades in West Fargo. Jay Gibson, just talked with him earlier. He's done a heck of a job over the decades, and just as well as he's a smart coach. He knows exactly what the game plan is going to be. What's your thoughts on going up against Jay and the Packers?
Yeah, Jay and I have played against each other a long time now, and I do know when we play a Jay Gibson team, it's probably the most physical game we're going to play in a calendar season, and we know that. We expect that every time West Fargo comes. They just they're a blue collar team. They bring it. They're physical. They have athletes all over the place, so we know it's going to be a very physical game. And I think the last few years we didn't match their physicality. I thought last year we progressed forward, but when we first moved back up to the big schools, we did not. We struggled with their physicality, and I think that's something we proved on. So again, hopefully we'll match it again this Friday night. But they're well coached. He's had the same staff for many years, and they know what we're bringing to them. We expect, and we know what they're bringing to us. So it's just a good old fashioned high school football game with two really good programs, not even just teams, but two really good programs getting after it.
When you look at kind of the individuals surrounding these games, kind of the impact players on your side, who really pleasantly surprised you in the win over Bismarck, and who, strikes out to you from the West Fargo side individually?
I think starting with us, you got to start with your quarterback. That was a big question mark we had going into the season with losing Michael Rosberg. And I thought Landon did a nice job running the offense. I think there's a couple things that he'd want back. But again, you just have to play the game to see that. But I was really pleased with the way we played in the trenches, both on the offensive and defensive side of the balls. I thought we did a really good job executing, and that's really good. And then on the West Fargo side, I was really impressed with their quarterback. He threw the ball really well. He threw it a lot, but he threw it really well. And we know they got athletes that he can throw to, and we expect them to chuck it around again. And we're going to be on our toes defensively, especially in the secondary. And it's a good opportunity to see where our secondary is at because, Bismarck High is the polar opposite. They tried to establish the run. They get into a lot of fullback sets, a lot of tight end sets, where West Fargo is going to be, one tight end set and a lot of doubles and trips looks. So it's a whole different scheme offensively. So we'll see how our kids respond to that.
Troy, it's going to be a fun contest for sure between the Packers and the Deacons. A little bit of a rivalry there. From a Shanley alum myself, I know it's a storied history between these two programs. Anything else you want to mention about the matchup or about your Deacons?
Yeah, we're excited anytime, and we're always excited when it's a metro game. I think anytime you play in Fargo, West Fargo, it's a rival. Whether it's West Fargo, whether it's Cheyenne, whether it's Davies, north, south, these kids always get up for a metro game, and this is one of them. I know our kids will be excited to play them, and there's just a lot of mutual respect between the two programs, the rosters on both sides, and West Fargo's coming off a tough loss. It's their home opener, so we got to be prepared to match their energy, especially early in the football game. But we're excited.
We are excited as well to have the game again kickoff on the horizon. That's head coach Troy Mattern of the Shanley Deacons joining us on the pregame. Coach, thanks so much. Best of luck, and we'll see what happens at the end.
All right. Appreciate it. Take care.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
Let's get real. Get ready for a place that's big enough to grow and small enough to care. The University of Minnesota Crookston offers more than 35 majors, minors, and certificates. Earn a University of Minnesota degree, where you can make a difference in a close-knit community. Faculty become friends, and friends feel like family. You don't need a big city, just big dreams. The University of Minnesota Crookston. Real, hands-on, and will get you ready for anything.
And welcome back to Packers Stadium. Football fans, James Martins, Chase Miller, Grace Lear on the camera here with you as we are getting to the starting lineups here. Let's go right to them. We start with the road squad, the Shanley Deacons, top-ranked team in the state, coming off a 35-7 win at Bismarck last week, and the defending state champions. Here's their starting offense. A senior 6'1", 230-pound left tackle, number 64, Carter Mitchell. And left guard, a senior 5'11", 275, number 77, Nick Cool. At center, a 6'1", 270-pound senior, number 60, Isaac Butler. At right guard, a 6'4", 270-pound senior, number 76, Luke Rogan. At right tackle, a 6'1", 225-pound senior, number 56, Cam Allers. The cornerback, a 5'11", 190-pound senior, number 5, Landon Meyer. And a wide receiver, 6', 170-pound senior, number 22, Sam Ovzak. Another wide receiver, a 6'1", 200-pound senior, number 14, Jordan Leininger. Another wide receiver, 6', 165-pound senior, number 25, Fisher Hennison. A 6', 200-pound senior, number 2, Caden Chrisman. And a 5'9", 175-pound junior at tailback, number 28, Gabe Dan Duran. That's the starting lineup for head coach Troy Mattern, assisted by a host of Deacon coaches. And now for the West Fargo Packers starting defense. At defensive end, a 6'5", senior, 220 pounds, number 81, Tony Leal. At the defensive tackle, a 6'3", 225-pound junior, number 83, Sam Olson. At the nose tackle, a senior, 6'1", defensive lineman, number 52, Logan Moore. At another defensive tackle, it's Jack Stewart, number 79, a 6'3", senior. And at another defensive end, it is Carter Downer, a 6'3", 205-pound junior. Linebackers, Jake Gassett and Carter Ron, number 23, number 70, a pair of juniors. Gassett is 6', 180, and Ron is at 6'3", 200. And the corners, Alex McElroy, a senior, number 2, and Jesse Ramirez, number 11. He's a senior as well. And the safeties, Leighton Hoffland, number 22, a senior, and Ian Scari, a wide receiver, a sophomore as well. That's the starters for Jay Gibson and his assistants for West Fargo. West Fargo won the toss. They have elected to defer to the second half. They'll defend the north goal, and they won't kick it away. Kicking it off for the Packers, it's Tony Lariah, 6'4", 185-pound junior. Packers in the green with white numbers, gray pants, going left to right. The Deacons in the white and red helmets. The Deacon shield, and we're underway. AAA football on yourliveevent.com. It's fielded there at the 20 by Carson Busek. And he's wrangled down at the 31. For a gain of about 11.
Yeah, Loria there with a nice little pooch kick to minimize the return, as the Deacons got some pretty good speed there, James, on the return game for Fargo Shanley.
Absolutely. They limited this high-octane Deacon offense there. As Jay Gibson saying in the pregame interview, the Deacons seems like they march down the field at will. We'll see what happens here tonight with the senior quarterback Landon Meyer. Two in the backfield with him, takes the snap. It's a pass out of the backfield to Chrisman, 30, 35, 40, tripped up at the 45. Nice gain for a first down for Caden Chrisman.
And Sam Ovsek, the senior, really had the edge block, and that's going to be a live ball if that doesn't get caught. Really good boundary play, and Troy Mattern, they love the speed on this Deacon team.
Started at the 31. That's a first down, a gain of 14 for Chrisman. And there comes the speed again, out to the right-hand side, and that's going to be a gain of about 7 or 8 that time for Sam Ovsek.
And now they just switched it. It was Caden Chrisman throwing the block. So one-on-one there, and you're going to see this. They're not going to hold the ball long, James, on offense.
It's a second and short, second about 3. Meyer's going to keep it himself. Going to gain a couple of yards. It's going to be about a third and 1 or 2. 11-11 to go here in the opening quarter. Meyer in the gun once again. Takes the snap, runs straight ahead, and he's got the first down. A couple of nice design runs there for Meyer to pick up the first down for the Deacons. They're into Packer territory. Out across the 45, out to about the 43. Right hash, 3 to the right, 1 to the left here on a 1st and 10. Meyer looks left, tosses left. He's got his man out near the numbers and around the 35. And that's a catch made by Jordan Leininger, his first catch of the game. They'll mark it at the left hash, down to the 36. In the ball out super quick there for Meyer, the senior. Just one non-senior on this starting lineup for the Shanley Deacons. Fakes the pass, launches it to the end zone, overthrown just a bit. It'll bring up a 2nd and 10 there for the Deacons.
Really good job by Scari in the backfield, but those quick passes are going to allow for a hitch and go, are going to allow for a pump fake again from Fargo Shanley. Once those corners bite up, James, look for that deep ball throughout the night here for the Deacons. They'll take it when there's an opportunity.
Meyer on that left hash here on a 3rd down. Meyer, toss, left-hand side. He's got his man lying here for the first down. Out across the 30 to about the 26.
Really good route by Jordan Leininger. Knew where the sticks were, just came out, ran a little 5-yard curl. Once he got it, able to get north to south to get some more yards.
2 man to the right, 2 to the left here. Man in motion. Toss out to the right-hand side. That's Dan Duran out of the backfield, and he gets a couple before he's wrangled down out at about the 21. The 5'9", 175-pound junior, the only junior in this starting lineup.
Fargo Shanley, James, they're going to make you guard the entire length of the field. We're seeing that already in this first drive.
Kind of like an old-fashioned rugby or soccer game, the passing all the way around the field so you can get into the end zone. There's a handoff up the middle, space to run, and tackle down inside the 10. That on the carry there that time by Chad Pollock. It's going to be a 1st and 10 here. And inside the 15, that is, to about the 12. Meyer out to the left-hand side and stopped up at about the 10.
Blowing that play up was Leighton Hoffland there, the senior at 6'1". He took 2 Deacons on and allowed his own teammate to make a tackle in space.
Brings up no gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 12, 9:28 and counting here in the opening quarter. Meyer slings it, right side, drop ball. Unable to handle it there that time was Fisher Hannison, his first target of the game. Brings up a 3rd down and 10. Packer defense trying to hold on here. 3 to the right, 2 to the left here. Spread set. Meyer takes the snap, design, keeper, up the gut, and towards the end zone. They're going to say it's down at the 1, just shy of the goal line.
Good stretch by Meyer and a really well-executed play, James. Again, they make you guard the length of the field, so what do? Quarterback draw when there's not as many guys in the box.
1st and goal at the 1 here now. Meyer takes the snap, straight up the gut. He's in for a Deacon touchdown. 6-0 Fargo Shanley.
For the Deacons there, James, a little over 3 minutes off the clock. And I tell you what, this is what made him so dangerous last year en route to a state championship, is this kind of quick, high-octane offense. It almost reminds you of the old Chip Kelly Oregon Duck days a little bit in college football.
And to kick the extra point here for Shanley, this is Matthew Berg. Snap, spot, kick is up, and it's good. Quick drive. And the Deacons are on the board here, 7-0, 8:48 to go in that opening quarter. We're back after this on your live event.
Every farmer has a good story about picking rocks. Want to hear ours? To this day, we pick rocks on our founder's farm, and they go into every Bell Bank branch we build. How's that for rock-solid commitment?
Every bank wants you to open an account. Then along come sneaky fees. Sneaky, sneaky. If you hate sneaky fees, switch to Bell Bank. We give sneaky fees the boot. Bell Bank.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in North Dakota. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the NDHSAA and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to Packer Stadium, football fans. 8:48 to go here in the opening quarter. 7-0 Shanley on the board, top-ranked team of the state. They had just a couple of 3rd downs on that drive. Took 3 minutes and 12 seconds off the clock. And Meyer went in for the touchdown. Berg to kick it away. Little squibber there. Picked up at about the 19 and knelt down there by the returner Max Rotuno.
Yeah, tough one there for Max, James. You know, you just don't want to let the ball get by you, but when you bring your knee down, unlike NFL football, just like college and high school, the knees down, ball is in your grasp, you're automatically down. But did a good job again, kind of like a third baseman, staying in front of it, keeping the ball with them, and not too bad a starting field position for the Packers.
Going to be on that near side hash mark there. Ball will be spotted at the 22. And the quarterback, Brady Medina, the senior. Jay Gibson saying in the pregame interview has one of the best releases he's ever seen, and Gibson's been around a few years. Medina in the gun, back to pass, and picked off! Pick 6! Fargo Shanley's up 13-0. What a play there by Jordan Langinger to get the touchdown. And just, Medina talked about that quick release, but maybe that was a little too quick, Chase.
Yeah, Leininger read it the entire way. He saw that the wide receiver just ran a curl, and once he saw the ball coming out, just like a really good sprinter coming out of the blocks, James, in a 100-meter dash, that's exactly what Leininger was able to do. And anytime you're trailing, it's tough, but when you're trailing against this high-octane team, West Fargo has the road to go.
Snap, spot, kick is up, and it's good for Berg. 14-0. Only took 10 seconds off the clock. And the Deacons are now up by 2 scores. West Fargo got to find an answer. Coming up next on your live event.
Keep your job site stocked with reliable service from Prairie Supply, Inc., the contractor's headquarters. Our team specializes in everything concrete. That means hand tools and equipment, rebar of all shapes and sizes, concrete forming packages and ICFs, decorative concrete materials like color, stain, sealers, and coatings. And let's not forget our impressive fleet of winter construction equipment to keep the concrete flowing all year round. If you've got concrete questions, we've got concrete answers at Prairie Supply Inc., the contractor's headquarters. Visit us today at any of our 6 locations.
This is Chris Brecken from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to our growers. Your trust and fellowship is the driving force behind our dedication to your successful farming operation. We continue to invest in the education of our team to ensure your customer experience is outstanding. Thank you for the opportunity to be your planter experts. Stop by either of our locations in Hillsboro or Drayton, North Dakota, or visit planterdoc.com.
Back here for the kickoff, 14-0. Shanley, just like that, up by 2 scores. Another squibber. Right to Rotano again. This time he's got a much better return. Out across the 30 to the 34, and West Fargo in better starting field position. And they got to get something going here, Chase.
Yeah, right now for West Fargo, you look up at the clock. Good news, bad news. The bad news obviously is a score. The good news, James, is we only have played 3.5 minutes of football right now. So if you can muster a first down, get something positive going here for the Packers, see if you can punch one in the end zone, it becomes a brand new ball game. But a 3 and out, another interception, that's not what Jay Gibson has in mind on this drive.
Well, Jay Gibson expecting a high-octane offensive effort. He says, get your popcorn, your concession stands right away. You might be here a while. Medina in the gun, and a little bit of an I formation. 2 left, 1 right. Back to pass on a play action, and it's incomplete. Intended receiver that time for West Fargo was Tony Leal, the 6'5", 220 senior.
And Hannison and Leininger kind of blanking him. And with Leo, with his size, James, I mean, this is a guy that, if I'm a basketball coach, Adam Palczewski, I'm salivating once I get to the hard court. At 6'5", that frame to get some rebounds. So anytime that Leo is going to be one man by himself, look for Shanley to roll the coverage a little bit to him to have that double opportunity on defense.
Medina right now, not his best start, 0 for 2, or 0 for 1, rather, an interception as well. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. For Medina on a 2nd and 10 from their own 35. And hands it off. Not much work in there for the Pack as the give looks like was to Leighton Hofflin.
Update for you on the Packers sideline here. James Keaton McGregor came off right now, kind of took a blow a little bit on the bench. Maybe he just got the wind knocked out of him, but we'll see if number 3 again, Keaton McGregor, a big-time senior for this team, if he returns here in this first quarter.
Yeah, high-impact player. They put him in a lot of spots, and right now he looks okay. He's just kind of isolated, standing over there with his teammate Alex McElroy, but we'll see what happens later on. 3rd and 8, 7:50 to go here. Opening quarter, 14-0 Deacons. 2 to the left, 1 to the right here for Medina. In the pistol, back to snap. Looking left, tossing left, slings it out there. Oh, what a nice feed. Darts on the 50-yard line for Jesse Ramirez. The senior hauls it in, and it's a first down.
Yeah, with Landon Mitchell right there wasn't much of a 2x2 to put that one in there out for the QB for West Fargo, but really good-looking throw by Medina.
All the way out to the Deacon 47-yard line. A pickup of 16 yards, and makes it a 1st and 10. 2 right, 1 left for Medina in the gun. Takes the snap. It's going to be a handoff. And trying to muscle his way for a couple of yards, I believe, was Hofflin again. And it's going to be 2nd and long.
Good pursuit from the edge there by Max Sorensen, able just to read that one, barreling down, able to get right to the running back there for a little gain.
Picks up a yard on that one. It's 2nd and 9. Boy, what a beautiful night right now in the Fargo-Moorhead West Fargo Metro. A little bit of clouds out there, but very calm. As Packers get up to the line here. Split out wide right, that's Ramirez with the catch. Wide left, that's Leal. Medina on a 2nd and 9, takes the snap, chucks it towards Leal, and he bobbled it, but he hauled it back in at the 41. Boy, Chase, Medina's playing with fire here a little bit.
100%. Those are just some inopportune bounces if you're West Fargo, because when that popped up, James, I thought the Shanley DB was going to get another pick here quick and run the opposite way.
He has completed a couple of passes here now. He's now 2 for 3, and for about the 21 yards. It's a 3rd and 4. Under 6 minutes to go here in the opening quarter, halfway through. Packers really could use a first down here. 2 left, 1 right for Medina in the gun. And we get our first whistle of the game and our first penalty as well. And it's going to be delay of game on the Pack.
And play clock down to 0, just unfortunate there. And this was one of those portions in the game, James, where if West Fargo gets even 0 yards or even 1, I wouldn't have been surprised if Jay Gibson goes for it, just with the high-power offense that Fargo Shanley has. But now at a 3rd and 9, if you don't get 5 yards, Jay might have to punt it away depending on how this play results in.
Yeah, unless you were former Shanley Deacon Emmett Kenny, you're probably not hitting the field goal from this far away. So definitely probably a punt if you don't gain a good amount on here. So we'll see what happens here on a 3rd and 9. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Medina. Blitz shown by the Deacons. Medina takes the snap. Chucks it out of the backfield. It's incomplete. Pass intended there for Ian Scary, and that'll be a 4th and 9.
Perfect play call, though, James. You mentioned pressure coming. What do? You go to the running back. And if Scary catches that one, he would have had some daylight. Also note, next time Shanley runs that defense, Leo was 1-on-1 for a potential deep ball later on in the game.
If you get Leo 1-on-1, if you're Medina, you got to take a shot at him. And, yep, it is going to be a punt there. Carter Downer out to punt it away. Back to receive for the Deacons. That is Chrisman and Ovsak back to receive. 5:43 remaining here in the opening quarter. Deacons already up 14-0. They'll look to add to it. There's a snap, low snap, gets the punt off. Nice boomer up there. And fair catch called at the 22-yard line with 5:35 to go here in the opening quarter. Shanley again marched it down the field. First possession of the game. West Fargo won the toss. They elected to defer. So they'll get it in the second half to start the second half. Took just 3 minutes and 12 seconds for Shanley quarterback Landon Meyer to get it into the end zone. Good mix of run and pass as well. And looks like we got a timeout here taken on the field. And we'll be back after this on your live event.
The 2023 R&J Sports Fall Sports Guide is now available in digital format. You can view the 2023 Fall Sports Guide online and on mobile by visiting rnjbroadcasting.com and clicking on the Sports Guide link. View schedules, coaches' bios, and see plenty of photos and tidbits to get ready for the fall sports seasons. The R&J Sports Fall Sports Guide is now online and available at rnjbroadcasting.com.
And back here to Packer Stadium. 5:35 remaining here in the opening quarter. A little bit of a rehydration break there, Chase.
With this overcast, kind of a sky, a hot and humid kind of a day a little bit here, I'm sure the officials kind of came out and said, hey, once we kind of get, 5-6 minutes into this first quarter, we'll probably take just a break, so to speak. If you're a NASCAR fan, kind of that early caution that they like to call them after about 20-30 laps, see how the track is doing with the tires and the rubber. Same thing here, make sure everyone's okay, and even for the refs, a nice little breather for the officials.
I think West Fargo's happy with that. They get a reason to slow down Shanley. 2 to the right, 1 to the left here on the 1st and 10. It's a handoff up the middle across the 25 to the 29. And that on the carry is, looks like Carson Busick out there. First time he's carried the ball this evening.
Donner on the tackle did a good job coming up, then coming back to make the tackle to not allow the first down.
Ball spotted there at around the 28. It's a 2nd and 4. It's a toss out to the right-hand side. It's a first down and more across the 35 and a little extra movement to the 40. Good ball movement there by the Deacons. Spotted at the right hash at the 40. 2 right, 1 left here as the Deacons look to keep on moving. In the pistol. Handoff, Busick again. And he's able to get a couple more yards. Brings it to the 42. Brings it a 2nd and 8. 3 left now here. 1 right. The Deacons continue to spread it out. Toss to the left-hand side. And tackle from behind there that time. Nice tackle there by West Fargo Carter Downer after the catch by Offsack.
Leininger and Busick did a really good job opening up a little bit lane there for Fargo Shanley on the perimeter.
Moves the ball up to the 47. It's a pickup of 11. It's a 1st and 10. Meyer back to pass. Pressure coming. Gets it over the middle. And no one. However, Max Rotunda was close to the ball. He might have had a chance to pick that off.
These are just some of the things right now for Fargo Shanley. They've taken 2 deep ball throws. They've missed on both of them. But, again, just showing you enough that they will take those chances. And the other thing, James, with this offense, you've got to know your place defensively because they are looking to snap it even in an NBA shot clock right now.
Twins right and left on a 2nd and 10. Gets the screen out to Chrisman. And Chrisman's out across to the 40. Close to a 1st down. Call it a 3rd and 1. 2 right, 2 left here. Meyer in the gun with Chrisman. Takes the snap. It's going to be a design run. Oh, he's met with resistance. And he will get enough to get the 1st down, though.
Yeah, Layton was in on that particular tackle. Also, Braden Nygaard there. But, again, Meyer enough to get move the chains.
Quick pace here for Fargo Shanley. 2 right, 2 left. Takes the snap. Screen out to Chrisman. He's out to the 30. And that's another positive gain there for the Deacons.
He's brought down by number 70, Carter Ron for the Packers. 2nd 5 for the Deacons.
And the Deacons continue to motor here on a 2nd down. Meyer, design run, up the middle, with some room to go across the 20, diving towards the 15. And the Deacons, Chase, they just continue to move down the field.
Well, in college and the pros, you see this up-tempo. In high school, it's the old option game. Until you see it, James, and see what it's like, it's tough to simulate in practice.
Meyer, another screen. Offsack. Outside the 10 to the 9. It'll be another 2nd and short. They'll mark it at the 10. Brings up a 2nd and about 4. 3rd and about 2nd and 4. It's Meyer. Oh, that was nearly picked off. Out towards the sticks, and it's a 1st down.
Yeah, there's going to be too many men on the field here regardless. They're trying to substitute on the near sideline for the West Fargo Packers. And as we mentioned, if you're not paying attention to your coaches on the sideline saying who needs to come in and come out, James, especially in this tempo, it makes it really difficult to know your particular job, what you need to do, and how up-tempo this offense is. Well, they're looking as just for one person to not do their job, and then they're going to take advantage of it no matter where that is on the perimeter or making a deep post pass.
Chalk that up to experience, at least on the Shanley side of things. Again, as far as the offense, 10 of the 11 starters are seniors. So they've seen a thing or two, they know a thing or two, and they've experienced, of course, that state title from last year. 2 to the right, 2 to the left here with Meyer, and this time it's Pollock in the backfield. Meyer, another designed run. Packers are ready for it. Meyer still ends up with a couple of yards. Going to be 2nd and short. 2nd and goal.
Carter Ron was able to make the tackle there for the West Fargo Packers as they make another defensive lineman substitution. Jack Stewart coming on.
Meyer towards Pollock out of the backfield. Oh, nicely done. Tripped up there that time, and a great tackle by Owen Scoville, a sophomore.
One of the few times that you had that interior wide receiver in the slot, James, not even touch a Packer defender, not even get him a little off balance. Scoville read it perfectly and able to get that tackle for loss.
I think it might be a little tough for the defenders tonight with these quarterbacks swinging it out as fast as they are. On a 3rd down, handoff, Chrisman finding his way towards the end zone. Ball comes out. No signal yet. And it is West Fargo Packer ball. Boy, Chase, that's a momentum shift West Fargo desperately needed.
Well, the question is if with replay you go back where I am, James, it was a perfectly executed spot here on the sideline. Chrisman was reaching for the goal line, and as he was reaching, the question was, did he have possession of the ball before it went across that goal line, or did he fumble it? Well, he fumbled it at the one. The Packers had 3 green jerseys around him and a big momentum booster that West Fargo needed. The only problem is now got to go 99 yards the other way, but West Fargo desperately needs something positive to happen, James, and they got it there.
Talk about creating opportunities, creating chances, and the Packers certainly did that. But again, as Chase mentioned, they're deep in their own end zone, and they got to get out. 2 left, 1 right here on a 1st and 10. Medina inside his goal line, blitz coming, and it is going to be a safety. 16-0. Deacons will continue to score even if they don't get the touchdown.
Fargo's Shanley, Nick Kuhl, and Luke Rogan, those two just came in on an absolute peanut butter and jelly sandwich crunch. I mean, there was no room to run for the Packers running back right there, and those two were not just at the goal line, James, they were a full yard into the goal line, and just unfortunate there for the West Fargo Packers.
Boy, Chase, you're making me hungry. We got to take a little snack break. We'll be back after this on your live event. And again, the West Fargo Packers and the Shanley Deacons doing battle here in AAA football. The Deacons, the top-ranked team in the state, and Chase, I think we've seen why.
Yeah, I mean, right now I've been impressed with the line play. As much as Fargo Shanley has speed, the line has done enough both offensively and defensively to cause some havoc early on in the game. For the West Fargo Packers, if you would put 5 things on the old chalkboard for Jay Gibson whiteboard now and say, here's 3 things that we don't want to happen. Well, Fargo Shanley took the ball for a touchdown to start with. Then there's a pick 6. You finally catch a break, but it's at your own half-yard line for crying out loud. And then no one just decides to block the 2 defensive tackles here for Fargo Shanley for a safety. So, again, everything has gone right for the team clad in white tonight, and nearly everything has gone wrong for the team clad in green. But, James, we're not even done with the first quarter yet, so there's still a ton of football left to be had.
And if you had a safety punt on your bingo card, you can cross that off now. As there's the punt there by Downer. It takes a bounce, fielded at the 40 by Chrisman. Stunner step, hop, skip, and a jump across midfield to Packer territory in the 49.
This kind of drive, James, has the inkling of the old boxing term, a knockout blow. Early on, this is what kind of a drive it really feels like. It's still 2 possessions at 16-0, but if Fargo Shanley gets a score and they force a 3-and-out, or they force West Fargo unable to put it on a response, we might be talking running time potentially in the second half with how this offense likes to score from last year to this year.
Ball spotted at the Packer 48. Bunch set to the right. Toss out to the left, though. That's Leininger with the catch. Across the 45, out to about the 44. And that'll be a gain of about 4 and a 2nd and 6. Now, Chase, when the next break, I got a question I want to ask you here about that previous return. 2 left, 2 right, as Meyer. Little reverse. And that's a big gain there across the 40 out to the about the 36 for Sam Ovzak. They're just going to the playbook there. But, Chase, I was talking with our good buddy Jake Berkmeyer here recently, and he was saying that hurdling in football is not allowed. Was that a hurdle there for Chrisman on that return?
It might have been pretty close, kind of like the Randy Moss Marshall days.
Meyer scrambling and finding Chrisman downfield. Across the 20, extends his body to about the 18, and another first down for Fargo Shanley Pretty impressive stuff, Chase, from Landon Meyer.
Well, and he comes in for Rotsburg, who got a college scholarship to go to St. Thomas and play D1 football in the Pioneer League. So learning, understanding the offense here for Coach Mattern, and he's well in rhythm.
Handoff to Busek, up the middle for a couple.
Nice ankle tackle by Logan Moore, the senior at 6'1", the interior line for West Fargo. They need something like that to continue to help them out.
They give him 5 on that run. It's second and 5 at the 14. Pass out to Leininger on the left side, and gang tackled there by the Packers. But still some positive yardage for the Deacons. Boy, Chase, not a lot of negative plays here for Fargo Shanley.
I think right now you're starting to see a team that's well in condition in Fargo Shanley against a team right now that played a 46-40 game last week, and they're trying to get back into their legs.
Toss, off sack, touchdown, Fargo Shanley. Sam Offsack, the 6-foot senior, gets into the end zone, and just like that, the Deacons now up 22-0.
This is the one thing with Fargo Shanley last year and what's going to make them so tough this year. Even if they have a bad quarter or if they have a bad half, they have an offense to score a myriad of points in a quarter or a half, James. They're going to feel like they're going to be in every game no matter who they play across the state this season.
Berg on to kick the extra point. Snap, spot, kick is up. It is good. 23-0. We're still in the first quarter here. 69 seconds left. And I think we'll just keep it here with we've had some breaks here already in this opening quarter. Again, 23-0. Fargo Shanley with the lead over West Fargo High. Don't forget, don't know when we'll get there, but once we get there, we'll have our First Class Mortgage halftime show. It seems like that's far away, Chase.
Well, right now, again, if you're West Fargo, this is just like quicksand, but it's quicksand where you can't get out of it, but then all of a sudden you look up and it's like you got Roadrunner, going by you at this same point. And again, as we mentioned earlier, Keaton McGregor kind of got a little nicked up, and right now Jack Cassetti right now coming across. You can just tell he is gassed right now with a little bit of the humidity, with the weather. You're going up against a team that is going back and forth. What this really feels like, James, is like Saturday afternoon at the Y. You play against a team that's a bunch of old college athletes from about 2-3 years ago playing D1 to JUCO ball, but they all play together, and they're all well-rounded, and they can all go up and down the floor for hours on end. That's kind of what Fargo Shanley feels like to me. It doesn't matter who they put out there. They can run a 100-meter dash, and they can run the mile, is what it kind of feels like right now for the Deacons.
I tell you what, I hate to say this, but I stopped tracking stats a long time ago. I get that same feeling. Shanley's just moving and grooving down the field, and it's a team effort. That's the other scary thing. You can't stop one guy. There's threats everywhere in this Shanley squad. West Fargo, they had momentum with that fumble recovery. We'll see what they can do with this drive. As Berg going to kick it off right to left on that screen. Deacons in the white, red helmets, red numbers. West Fargo in the green, set to return. And Berg continues with the Squibbers. Up over one Packer, gets by another, but he's able to return it. That's Scary over there on the far side. Tripped up at about the 15, up ahead to about the 17.
Taking a look ahead for Fargo Shanley at Fargo South next week here on YourLiveEvent.com. Then home to West Fargo Cheyenne. They got a dandy of a game with Fargo Davies tonight on the opposite side for West Fargo. Bismarck Legacy then at Davies. And then it's crazy to think, James, about 2 more weeks, we're about midway through the season. The Dakota Bowl is in November, but once we flip the calendar here to September and this Labor Day weekend, I hate to say it, but playoffs are about 6 weekends away here, depending on what class of football you're in.
My goodness. West Fargo coming up on that far side hash marks. A little bit of an I formation here. It's Medina in the backfield. Receiver to the right and one to the left. Deacons back off the pressure as Medina back to pass. Nice coverage down the field there that time by Isaac Perkarowicz.
I'm looking for Sam Olsen there at 6'3", and just really good defense there again by Isaac Perkarovich, the senior at 6 foot, able to get his right mid in there and just able to bat it down enough, and that's what you're asked to do. You might give up some size as a defensive back or a linebacker, but at the end of the day, just get your hand in the cookie jar, and if you get caught, it's okay defensively at times here, James.
And we have a player timeout. They have called a player off the field. That's Gabriel Grabowski, a junior for West Fargo. Chase, he's walking right in front of you. Looking at his eye, maybe?
I think this might not just be the eye. I think this could be potentially heat exhaustion or something in between. We'll see what's happening. I'm not sure contacts, but as he was coming off, he wasn't really in any hurry by any stretch of the imagination. And we're starting to see that a little bit here for a couple Packers, as you also have Jack Gassetti with a bag of ice right now on his neck sitting on the bench.
2nd and 10. Low snap. Medina scrambling to the right. Chased and sacked. Loss of 3 there that time. It'll be 3rd and long.
Caden Chrisman was able to come in there on the attacker. Fisher Hannison also in on there in pursuit. Again, speed is the name of the game. I don't care if it's 9-man. I don't care if it's 3A in North Dakota. When you got speed, you can cover a lot of ground, and that's what the Fargo Shanley Deacons have on their football team this year.
3rd and 13. West Fargo will have to run one more play here, about a 5-second differential between play clock and game clock. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Leal is out to the right. It's Medina with 10 on the play clock. Gets the snap. Looking left, tossing left. Step on his man, but it's overthrown. 4th down.
Fargo Shanley in some pursuit from the defensive end spot in Meyer, a senior at 6'3", able to come in and maybe just force the QB there for West Fargo and Medina to throw it a little bit too out in front. But so far for Fargo Shanley, they're showing you why they were ranked preseason #1. I know rankings really don't matter. It's the QRF once it comes to postseason here, James, on how you do stuff and who you win and lose to throughout the season. But Fargo Shanley, from the media, a darling, so to speak, they are living up to the billing.
West Fargo back to punt. Deacons have 2 men out at about the 45. Packer 45, that is. There's the punt. Nice high punt. Good hang time. Fair catch called by Offsack, and he's got it at the 41. As the first quarter comes to an end. At the end of the first quarter, it's 23-0 all Deacons here after 12 minutes. We're back after this on your live event.
For 20 years, 702 Communications has been connecting people and businesses to the world through internet, telephone, and TV. And as your needs have changed, so has 702. Our dedication to our community and customers runs deep. So when you call, we listen. And you can trust that we'll never stop working to bring the latest technology to our friends and neighbors. Thank you for 20 years in business. The best is yet to come.
In Hope, North Dakota, we aren't just a town, we're a community, one that you can be proud of, where you and your family can grow. With available jobs, affordable housing, a golf course and pool, the Sportsman Club, and great educational opportunities. There hasn't been a better time to join the Hope community, ideally located between Fargo, Grand Forks, and Jamestown. For more information, go to www.hopend.com. Live, work, and play in Hope, North Dakota.
Back for the start of the second quarter. Fargo Shanley 23, West Fargo nothing. As the Deacons look to add to their total. And on a first down, pass out to Leininger, across the 35, and we get a penalty at the end of the play.
That's complete to the left, and we've got a flag down.
And ball right now spotted at the 33. We'll see what the penalty is. It's going to be a face mask on West Fargo. So move that inside the 25. Well, spotted here at the 18, 15-yard penalty on that. Left hash. And the Deacons will take that. 2 right, 2 left. Meyer in the gun on first down. Back to pass, checking over the middle. Leininger with a nice catch. Oh, he absorbs the contact, and he's into the end zone. 29-0 Fargo Shanley.
Leininger's kind of been the dude so far here in this first half with that pick six there. James now just ran a nice post pattern, as you said, did a brilliant job seeing the safety come across and put a lick on him. But at the end of the day, Leininger with that full head of steam gets in the end zone again for the Deacons.
And Berg is out to kick it once again. Already 1 point away from that 30-point threshold. Snap, spot, kick is up. It's blocked. So there's a little momentum there for the Pack. Extra point, no good. Fargo Shanley still with a big lead, though. 29-0, 11:37 to go here in half. Number one, back on your live event.
Buying a new home, but worried about the interest rate and terms from your bank? At First Class Mortgage, we'll find a mortgage that fits your needs. Shopping national banks and other lenders for the lowest rate and most affordable terms. Saving you time and money. So all you need to worry about is enjoying your new home. First Class Mortgage. Our expertise, your peace of mind. Put an expert to work for you. Call today.
Back here at Packer Stadium, 29-0. Fargo Shanley with the lead off an 18-yard touchdown from Leininger. But the extra point was blocked by Logan Moore. West Fargo still in a pretty deep hole there, Chase.
Yeah, right now for the Packers, this is just one of those games where, okay, you lost 46-40 against Bismarck Century. Now all of a sudden, what can you do well moving forward here in this first half? Everything that could go wrong kind of has gone wrong. Fargo Shanley, I want to see a 4x1. I want to see some of these kids in a 4x4 later in the bowl coming up in June.
One of my favorite times of the year, Chris Forster, head coach of the Deacons, track and field team. They've got some great athletes to work with. Berg will be back to kick it away. And Scary. And Scary's back among the Packers to receive. As Berg steps up. And Squibber almost onside. Nice recovery there. Just across the Packer 45 there that time by Downer on the hands team there for the Pack.
Yeah, Downer did a just really good job. Sometimes he just fall asleep, right? And all of a sudden here comes a squib kick or here comes an onside opportunity, and Carter just kind of put his foot in the ground at the 45 and said, all right, well, we'll gladly take it. Best starting field position here for the Packers.
Ball spotted on the left hash here on a 1st and 10 for West Fargo. 29-0 here our score. And, here's the thing. We saw it last year in the postseason that even if you've got a couple of bumps in the regular season, it's all about that postseason with the likes of 8-seeded Bismarck Century going to the state title game against Shanley was a 3-seed. So these games do matter a little bit, but just got to get in at least. Medina in the gun on 1st and 10. Or actually, no, excuse me, as that's a handoff. It was Medina. I apologize for that. That's a handoff there to Hoffland. And that's probably the best run of the game so far for West Fargo, Chase.
100%. And the one thing that the West Fargo Packers are notorious known for under Jay Gibson is getting better throughout the season. If you talk to coaches once it gets to late October, early November, a team that you don't want to see a second time or a team that you don't want to see in the season, it's West Fargo. He just has a knack for getting his guys better every week.
And Jay Gibson, I got to tell you, one of the smartest guys, smartest coaches I've ever interviewed in my entire life. I learned a lot from that interview. It was fun. As Medina in the gun, back to pass, out into the flat. It's incomplete. Trying to get Leal involved, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 3.
Yeah, Hennis in there, in on the coverage, but that's one, again, when you're running a quick little post pattern, you got to just lead them, and instead Tony Leal had to come from behind, and as you go behind, you give the defensive back an opportunity to make a play, and that's exactly what happened there. Right play design, good opportunity there, just want to execute a little bit better next time.
Again, 3rd and 3 for Medina and the Packers on their home turf. In their first home game of the year. Gibson saying home, road, doesn't matter. Still got to come ready to play and try to get a win. Medina, low snap. Kind of an awkward handoff, but Hoffland's able to get a yard out of that.
Third down handoff goes up the middle.
And it'll be a 4th and short. Chase, you go for it here?
At this point, you probably don't have anything to lose to go for it. The tackle was made by Landon Mitchell, but yeah, I think this is one where you look up at the clock and say, hey, even if we punt it with how Fargo Shanley's offense is going, not to say it doesn't matter right now, but West Fargo needs a positive shot in the arm, and it's 4th down and very manageable.
4th and 2 as the Packers trying to get the first down. Medina, toss. Good design there, but again, not quite enough for Sam Olsen. It's a TOD.
Really good defensive play here by Fargo Shanley. Isaac Perkarovich, again, was just right there. And that's the one thing for the Deacon secondary. They have been around the ball here tonight. Very swarming kind of defense here for the Deacons.
Fargo Shanley takes over. Right hash on their own 45, just inside the 45. Just outside of the nostrils, just outside of the steam coming out of the nostrils there of the Packer logo. 2 left, 2 right. On a 1st and 10. Meyer rolls left, looking, and escaping, chucking it down the field. Got a man down there, Langinger. Toe drag swag, got it. Inbounds at the 28. Oh, man. Chase, that's another contender for RDK play of the game.
And to add on to that, too, Leininger's made some of the better plays tonight all around here for Fargo Shanley. His fingerprints are all over this contest.
Off the left hash there. 10 minutes to go in the opening half. 2 left, 2 right. Meyer out to the sticks on the left-hand side. Leininger again. Across the 25, out to about the 23. I think that the 23. It'll be a 2nd and 5. And Fargo Shanley nearly catching West Fargo off the substitution again. Meyer towards the sticks again for Ovshak. And right near a 1st down, but not quite. 3rd and short.
And with how Meyer has the ball, it's 1 or 2 reads and the ball is out. He's looking at one side of the field and the ball is coming out quickly, James.
3rd and short. Meyer, pass. Leininger, left side, tiptoes his way across the 15, about the 13. It's a 1st down for the Deacons, and they just keep moving that ball down the field.
West Fargo with a lot of hands on their hips right now, a lot of tired Packers currently, especially on that defensive line trying to get pursuit on Meyer.
Meyer back to pass again. Leininger again, 2nd straight time they've hit that receiver. And another nice gain.
Meyer's pass again complete to the left.
Shanley continuing to, as Jay Gibson alluded to, march down the field at will. Will we get a penalty here? Looks like it's going to go against the Deacons.
I think we'll get a legal substitution coming here potentially for the Packers.
And they got him again.
Yeah, Carter Danner was coming out, but he went out of bounds on the end zone. He didn't come to the sideline, and right when they were going to hike it, illegal substitution. So one more time, if you're going to sub against Fargo Shanley, they're going to take full advantage of it and try to get to the ball and get that snap off.
2 left, 1 right here for Meyer. The gun, handoff, Busick. Good rally defense there for the Packers. No gain on the play. In fact, probably lost a yard or 2. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Lucas Grove was the main guy to kind of wreck that play for West Fargo, the 6'2 junior. Good job in pursuit.
Moving down to the 5 here now. 3 right, 1 left. Meyer, screen, Ovshak. Trying to stutter step his way to the end zone, reaching out, and he's got it. There's a Deacon touchdown again. This time it's Sam Ovshak with a touchdown.
Sam did a good job there. He was going to be short, but that stretch at the very end got him to go across the goal line, and Fargo Shanley just continues to light it up here as they did last season offensively, as they already put 35 here, James, up on that scoreboard.
By the way, all 4 touchdowns this first half of the Deacons inside the Packer red zone. So no big plays, at least big scoring plays anyway. Berg back on for the extra point. Last one was blocked. Snap, spot, kick is up, and it's good. 36-0. Fargo Shanley with a big lead here. 8:26 to go in the first half. We're back on your live event.
I'm Darian Bitts. I'm confident on and off the field. And when it's time for college, I'm confident Bank of North Dakota will help me make good student loan decisions. Visit bnd.nd.gov/confident.
I'm Doug Gray. I'm confident during the performance and when it's time for college. I'm confident Bank of North Dakota will help me make good student loan decisions. Visit bnd.nd.gov/confident.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
Back on your live event, 8:26 to go in the opening half. James Martin's here with you. Chase Miller on the field. Grace Lear running the camera. What I can tell, a true professional there, camera to the left. Getting some good shots of the action here as the Deacons right now pitching a shutout, 36-0. They've already scored more in this, not even full first half, than they had in the entire game against Bismarck to open up week one, a 35-7 win. Outscoring their opponents now 71-7. A little bit of a poocher there. Falls to Scary, and he can't get much more than a couple of yards on that one. West Fargo, Medina, and the Packers back out onto the field.
Liam Miller, no relation, in on the tackle there for the Shanley Deacons.
Ball spotted there at the 19 on the left hash mark.
From the 19-yard line.
As Medina and company will come back out here again. Pick six, punt, safety, punt, turnover on downs. They were able, however, to get into Deacon territory and give themselves a chance on a fourth and short, but couldn't quite come up with a first down. So 2 to the right, 1 to the left here on a 1st and 10 inside their own red zone. Medina back to pass, man open with a catch. Right side of the field, down the 40 to the 45. That's Leo hauling it in. Biggest offensive play by far tonight.
That was a great ball, by the way, a perfect spiral. Kind of like the little Giants kind of a play there, James, where you saw the ball coming up, and it was just a beautiful ball there for Medina.
That it would be a 26-yard catch, 26-yard connection between Medina and Leal. Makes it now 1st and 10 to the Pack 45. 2 right, 1 left. Medina in the gun. Back to pass, chucking it down the field. One-on-one, just a little overthrown that time for Ramirez, who had a really nice catch in the first quarter. Nowhere near that this time around. It's a 2nd and 10.
I like the adjustment, though, because Fargo Shanley, they're not really playing a cover high safety. They're not taking a 2 cover high. What they're trying to do is take away the running game from West Fargo, make them one-dimensional, and with where the score is, obviously you got to hit some big plays. But if you're West Fargo, those are going to be an opportunity one-on-one battles here for West Fargo throughout the rest of this game.
Couple of senior quarterbacks dueling out on the turf here between Meyer for the Deacons and Medina for the Packers. 2nd and 10 on their own 45, 8:07 remaining here in the opening half, 36-0 Shanley. 3 left, none right for Medina. Back to pass and finding his man, it's Leal. Cross midfield out to the Deacon 48, a couple yards shy of the first down.
That's the thing with Leo. You can run a little hitch and go. You can allow him to come across in a post pattern. That size, that frame, he allows a pretty wide range for his QB Medina to throw the ball into.
Leo, I'm not sure he had even more than 20 yards in the whole game prior to this drive. He's got now 2 catches there for 33. 3rd and 3. Packers need the 45 for a first down. Medina. Handoff and close to a first down there for Hoffland.
Landon Mitchell was the main guy to hit him right off the bat to make a tackle. 4th and short here. Looks like West Fargo's going to go for it.
Well, you have to at this point. At least try to get some positivity going into the halftime locker room. 4th and 1 here. 2 right, 1 left. Medina in the gun. Handoff. Hoffland first down. a rarity for West Fargo tonight in first downs.
Yeah, nice little opportunity there to sliver through the defense there. Joey Jager there with the tackle for the Fargo Shanley Deacons. But again, Fargo Shanley, James, we haven't said too many missed tackles here tonight. When the first guy gets to the ball, they're finding ways to make the hit and bring the Packer receiver or running back down.
The top teams, they don't hurt themselves, right? That's where that comes in. Not a lot of miscues tonight for the Deacons. Medina on a 1st and 10, low snap. Looking left, had a man open and didn't go that route. Maybe it was a little late there as Ramirez got a break. And it'll come back to the Packer 44 for a 2nd and 10. Again, coming up at the end of the second quarter. Don't forget we'll have the First Class Mortgage halftime show here on your live event. We'll go through the drive summary. We'll get reaction from Chase on the first half overall. Take a look at the second half. 3 left, none right. They're on a 2nd and 10. Medina, another little low snap. Rolling left, looking left, chucking it out to Leal, and he nearly hauled it in. Good coverage there by Oshak there on the near sideline. As Carter Downer's going to check back into the game here on a 3rd and 10.
So take a look at some other scores around the state of North Dakota. Last check after 1 quarter play. Just down the street on Veterans Boulevard, James, West Fargo Cheyenne 21, Fargo Davies 7. Last check in that contest. That's 2 versus 4 in the state.
3rd and 10 for the Packers in the green unis, moving right to left on that screen. 2 right, 1 left. Medina in the gun once again. Back to pass. Left side of the field. Goes back to the ball. Oh, he nearly hauled it in that time. Jacob Skolin, first time we called his name tonight, the 5'10 junior. Had a couple of hands on it, but couldn't haul it in.
Sholin made a really good play on the opportunity. Sam had the coverage, but as coming down was Jacob, he made it. But as he brought the ball down to the turf, the football hit it, and that's where it just bounced up. But really good ability to keep his balance, keep his poise. And as we mentioned earlier in this drive, James, the deep shots, the one-on-one plays, they're going to be there. You just got to come down and make the catch moving forward.
4th and 10, Packers going forward, of course. Leal out to the far right, Ramirez in the slot, and in the interior slot, and Scari in the exterior slot. On a 4th down, Medina rolling slight right, chucking down the middle for Scari. Oh, nice catch. 25-20, turned around at just the right time, and another big play. 4th down conversion.
Medina had time. 3 guys on the right-hand side. Leo's going to take a lot of coverage, and all of a sudden Scari just kind of got lost in that back end. And here comes West Fargo now, James, knocking on that red zone.
Second pass play of 20-plus yards on this drive, which started back on their own 19. Getting to the double digits in the drive chart here for plays. 3 left, none right. 5:47 of the counting in the opening half. Medina, low snap, handoff, Hoffland. And stretched across the 20, out to about the 19.
Bodine-Meyer on the tackle, but this is the type of drive that Coach Jay Gibson is going to want to see, not just here in this half and moving forward in this game, but throughout the rest of the season. For West Fargo, not so much tortoise in the hair, but they're not going to be in 4th gear, James. Fargo Shanley, offensively, they kind of want to play like that new Lamborghini that you have, and you just want to crank it at 100 miles an hour going down the interstate.
Ball actually past the 15 there to the 14. A pickup of 6 on a 1st and 10. Now 2nd and 4. 3 left for Medina. Back to pass towards the end zone for Leal. And he hauled it in despite what I believe is going to be PI on Oshak. But Tony Leal hauls it in for the touchdown. Kind of has the frame of another famous Tony Gonzalez, in a way.
Leo, that was possibly one of our better plays of the game right there. Really great job. Again, Medina gave Leo an opportunity one-on-one. It's going to be there. And really the good-looking play, opportunity to maybe go a little bit back shoulder, but threw it on enough in front of Leo, who made a very acrobatic catch with that defensive pass interference, and also ending the very boundary, possibly going out of bounds there too, James.
36-6. Important 2-point conversion here to at least prevent running clock in the second half. As Medina Another low snap. Chucks it out of the backfield. Hoffland couldn't quite get enough of a step, so 2-point conversion is no good. But West Fargo does get on the board, 36-6. 4:58 to go here in the opening half. We're back after this on your live event.
Let's get real. Get ready for a place that's big enough to grow and small enough to care. The University of Minnesota Crookston offers more than 35 majors, minors, and certificates. Earn a University of Minnesota degree, where you can make a difference in a close-knit community. Faculty become friends and friends feel like family. You don't need a big city, just big dreams. The University of Minnesota Crookston. Real, hands-on, and will get you ready for anything.
Back to Packers Stadium here. 4:58 remaining in the opening half, 36-6. Shanley was pitching a shutout before Tony Leal and the West Fargo Packers got on the board with a 14-yard touchdown catch. Well, we've really run the gambit here. We've had it all. We've had a fumble, we've had a pick six, a safety, and nearly a half a dozen touchdowns all inside the red zone there, Chase.
Well, what we've had so far in this game is West Fargo is going to take a look at this film and essentially go, okay, we need a better start, obviously, moving forward, no matter who they play with Bismarck Legacy next week. But right now, again, moving into this contest, if Shanley's going to play a ton of guys in the box and not have a free high safety, you're going to get chances here for Leal and company on this one-on-one and maybe an onside kick here, James.
Get ready to mark that on your bingo card. And it is. It is recovered there by the Deacons. Recovered there that time by Max Sorensen.
Recovered by number 52.
So the Deacons get it back here with 4:57 left in the opening half. Get our First Class Mortgage halftime show on the way after the 4:57. A gameplay has expired. Lots of other games going on tonight in your live event, including Hillsborough Central Valley and Kindred. Big matchup there in 11-man A. As Meyer on a 1st and 10. Ooh, nearly threw that one into the hands of Downer. Downer had a great shot to make it a pick six for West Fargo, but an incomplete pass. It's 2nd and 10, a rare incomplete pass for Meyer.
Oh, if you can get a quick 3 and out here and get the ball back, West Fargo gets it to start the second half, James. It'll be a little big momentum swing.
Meyer gets it out quickly again, and oh my goodness, nearly again. This time, though, McElroy and Chase, you mentioned that, talk about Gibson's teams, that they kind of grow as the season goes on and they kind of sneak up on you. It's kind of like the game here. West Fargo's starting to figure this Shanley unit out. On a 3rd and 10, Meyer, design keeper, and he tiptoes his way to the Packer 46. About a yard and a half shy of the first down.
I would say Fargo Shanley would go for it, but Meyer did a good job making it juke to get that extra 4 or 5 yards to probably go for it on 4th down.
And that will help the Deacons out. Looks like an offsides on the Pack.
And go with the hard clap count is what they did there. Just go on first movement, and Meyer, as they've done throughout this game, using that clap to kind of get their offense in rhythm and gets the freebie of that first down.
Bails the Deacons out that time. It's now 1st and 10. Ball spotted at the Packer 41. Meyer back to pass. Looks left now. Chucks it downfield. Got a man. Hauls it in for the touchdown. 41 yards that time for Jake Kraft. Or excuse me, not 21, not 41. It was Jake Kraft. Hauls it in for the 41-yard touchdown. Biggest touchdown play for either side tonight.
Yeah, a little pump and go right there for Meyer, who's been on point for Fargo Shanley. And all of a sudden you thought, well, get a 3 and out, maybe get the ball back for West Fargo. And Shanley goes, nah, we're just going to keep on keeping on that, scoring 6.
42-6 here, 4:14 to go in the opening half. As Berg, snap, spot. Kick is good. And 43-6 now. With 4:14 remaining in the opening half, the Deacons are rolling. Packers did get on the board, but Shanley's offense is still churning. Come on back on your live event.
Every farmer has a good story about picking rocks. Want to hear ours? To this day, we pick rocks on our founder's farm, and they go into every Bell Bank branch we build. How's that for rock-solid commitment?
Every bank wants you to open an account. Then along come sneaky fees. Sneaky, sneaky. If you hate sneaky fees, switch to Bell Bank. We give sneaky fees the boot. Bell Bank.
And back to Packer Stadium. 4:14 remains in this opening half. We've had 49 total points scored in this one. And again, check out some of the other broadcasts on your live event. We talked about Hillsborough Central Valley, Kindred, also Northern Cass hosting Central Cass tonight as well. Of course, you got us, Shanley, and West Fargo tonight. Don't forget, got the KRJB Coaches Show as well. Tomorrow on KRJB at 9 a.m. and the Your Live Event Coaches Show Wednesdays at 7. There's a kick from Kraft. Another squibber. Collected at the 25, 30. And a wallop there that time by Chrisman on the return by Caleb Adai.
Taking the hit was Landon Mitchell there for Fargo. Shanley looks to be all right, but that was a very tough tackle in open space.
So Packers will start on their own 32. Mixed bag of field possession. They've started one drive at their own 1. Average probably around that 25-yard line. Medina in the gun here on a 1st and 10. Packers scored on their previous drive. First touchdown of the game. Medina, inside handoff after a roll to the right and gets some good results. Hofflin up across the 45, about the 46.
Yeah, delayed counter. Lucas Grove there opened it up the hole on the offensive line, and that's an old staple, a Jay Gibson play for many years for West Fargo. You just roll the quarterback out, and all of a sudden here comes a delayed draw the other way, and they got the Fargo Shanley Deacons going one way to a comeback there, James.
Big gain here for the Pack. Brings up a 1st and 10 at their own 46. They still, other than that last touchdown, have not gone inside the Deacon red zone. Just one time tonight. And Medina's got to call timeout. 3:35 remaining here in the opening half. 43-6, Fargo Shanley leading West Fargo here on your live event.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in North Dakota. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the NDHSAA and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Out of the timeout here, 3:35 remaining in the opening half. 43-6, Fargo Shanley. They scored the first 36 points of the game. Both teams have since traded a touchdown each. Don't forget, we got our First Class Mortgage halftime show coming up. We'll take a look at the first half summary, get thoughts from Chase, and we'll look ahead to the second half. West Fargo coming up to the line with Medina and company here. 3 to the right. Olsen a blocking tight end on the left. Medina back to pass. Downfield. Ramirez had a chance, just slipped through his fingertips. 2nd and 10.
You're starting to see, though, that deep post pattern be available here for West Fargo. They attack the boundaries a little bit different than Shanley. Shanley with that quick screen game, get the ball out, get the ball in space. For West Fargo, the line has done a pretty good job here tonight, James, giving the opportunity for the QB here in Medina to scan the field and look down there for these deep routes here for the Packers. They have been there tonight. They just haven't connected too many times.
Look at the linemen with Moore and Stewart and Ron, as it's a handoff to Hovland. And that doesn't get too far on that one. Brings up a 2nd down and long.
Berkerovich there in on the tackle. Also good pursuit on the way by Nick Kuhl here, the senior defensive tackle for Fargo Shanley.
3rd and 9. 3:09 and counting here in this opening half. Again, starters on the offensive line there for West Fargo. Again, Jack Stewart, Aiden Lamb, Gabriel Grabowski was a starter anyway, Logan Moore, and Lucas Grove. Snap and a little miscommunication that time between Medina and his intended receiver, Scary, brings it 4th and 9. 2:45 left here in the opening half. Fargo Shanley, again, the top-ranked team in 3A. 19 of the 21 first-place votes coming in. And as Chase, you mentioned that Cheyenne and Fargo Davies 2 versus 4 going on right now as well.
Yeah, we'll take a look at a ton of action going on tonight in North Dakota. James with our scoreboard update coming up at the half. Some interesting games in 3A tonight, no doubt.
3 to the right, none left here for Medina on a 4th and 9. 7 on the play clock, gets the snap off. Scary nearly had it. And you got a feeling, Chase, the last 2 times they tried to connect, even on that one, Scary was a little bit better, but he was still kind of not on the same page as Medina.
Well, what they did, they ran Ramirez on a post, and then for coming behind him was Scary just to open up a little lane. If it hits Scary right in the hands and he catches it, that's a first down. You put Leal on the outside, so you get a lot of attention with Ramirez. You get a ton of attention with Leal. So all of a sudden you just slip someone else coming across, and there's going to be opportunities for Scary in this offense throughout this season to make plays like that moving forward for the Packers.
2:40 remaining here, and what seemed like a lengthy first half as Leininger gets the catch out on the left-hand side. Slips through a tackler across the 35 out to about the 32, 33.
I know we don't have fantasy football in high school, but I would want Leininger on my team, James.
He would be where Justin Jefferson was in the draft lottery, which is number 1. Snap, Meyer rolling to his right, directing traffic, still directing. He's got to chuck it down to his check down. Slips through a tackler and gets across the 25 to the 20 on a nice catch that time by Fisher Hannison. Is that a quiet night tonight? But it's hard to say that when these Deacons, they all do so many things well. Hannison's definitely been at work tonight. 2 left, 2 right. At 1st and 10, entering the Packer red zone again. Chucks it left side. This time it's Chrisman, who's also had kind of a quiet night tonight, Chase.
Yeah, you just take a look, and they can just interchange so many different guys, James. You know, someone might line up at running back, that might line up at the slot. Next play, they're at wide receiver. They move a ton of guys around.
Bring up a second down here, or first down, excuse me, as that's a touchdown. Chrisman, 7-yard scamper into the end zone. And Fargo Shanley is 1 point away from 50.
Meyer's done a really good job of controlling this offense. Sometimes it's easy to want to make the big play, but take what the defense gives you. And so far for what Meyer has done here tonight, very controlled, very balanced. And this looks like someone who's been this system, James, for what feels like a very long time with how he's just running the show.
Yeah, I have now 6 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown for Meyer. Snap, spot, kick is up. It is good, 50-6. Fargo Shanley with now 7 touchdowns and a safety, helping them get to that 50 points. 1:46 to go here in the opening half. Back after this in your live event.
Keep your job site stocked with reliable service from Prairie Supply, Inc., the contractor's headquarters. Our team specializes in everything concrete. That means hand tools and equipment, rebar of all shapes and sizes, concrete forming packages and ICFs, decorative concrete materials like color, stain, sealers, and coatings. And let's not forget our impressive fleet of winter construction equipment to keep the concrete flowing all year round. If you've got concrete questions, we've got concrete answers at Prairie Supply, Inc., the contractor's headquarters. Visit us today at any of our 6 locations.
This is Chris.
And back here out of the timeout, 50-6. 1:46 to go in the opening half. With the exception of Tony Leal's 14-yard grab. A couple of drives ago for the Packers. It's been all Fargo Shanley. 7 touchdowns. And Meyer has accounted for all 7 of them. First one he had on his own with a rush. And then six passing touchdowns. The last 6 touchdowns have all been passing touchdowns. Only one coming outside the red zone. Little pooch kick again. Coming up to grab it here for the Packers, up to the 35. That's Dye again. Second straight return for Caleb Dye out to the about 35-yard line with 101 seconds left on the clock in the first half. I mean, my goodness, what a glorious night tonight. Absolutely perfect. Not too much humidity. The wind is calm. The skies are clearing up. Even a beautiful pink hue on the sunset behind us. Just a great night coming into your Labor Day weekend. 3 right, 1 left here for Medina and the pack. As there's the snap. Medina, chuck down the middle. Out to the 44. Finds, looks like Olsen there in the middle. Pickup of nearly a first down.
I'm going to say it was incomplete, didn't complete the catch to the boundary. But from my angle, again, Leo, opportunity, just a really good pop, though, coming by Leininger to disrupt that football, James.
I'm just so impressed that this Fargo Shanley unit, looking at their offense, defense, most of the guys play both ways. They're still, seems like they're fresh. Seems like they just started the game energy-wise. That conditioning, pretty good stuff. As a snap, down the field, Leo with a chance at it. He almost hauled it in. He had it and dropped it.
That's kind of the story of the night for West Fargo, right? You run a good offensive set. You give Medina an opportunity to throw. One-on-one matchup with Leo. Medina put it right in the bucket and just unable to come up with it. When West Fargo's had a chance tonight, James, they've kind of shot themselves in the foot, if you will.
Yeah, and again, Fargo Shanley at the right place at the right time. Talked about their conditioning. I think assistant coach Anthony Carlquist has a thing or two to do on that. Chase, you and I both know him pretty well. One of the fittest dudes I've ever met. On a 3rd and 10. It's an inside handoff. Another Gibson play right there. And it works for Hoffman. He's got a first down out across the 45 out to about the 46.
That is so tough. If you're the defensive end on that play, James, on 3rd and 10, you are salivating. You get to put your ears back and go grab the quarterback. And all of a sudden, here comes a skinny halfback ready to draw, going the other way. And again, it's pursuit. And there's going to be some things that Troy Mattern's going to look at in film and say, all right, there was a block PAT. You got to stay home. There's going to be some things that Fargo Shanley will work on as well. But that play has worked to perfection tonight a couple times for Coach Gibson.
Gives him a first down there. 1:19 to go, still 2 timeouts for the Pack. Trying to make something out of this drive. Medina in the gun with Hoffman. Medina back to pass. Leal, the intended target, overthrown that time. And Oshak's been with him step for step tonight. 2nd and 10 here for the Pack. All again at the 47. And once again, our First Class Mortgage halftime show is on the way. We're about an hour, 17 minutes into this game from Essentia Health Packer Stadium. 3 right, 1 left. Leal's out to the left. Olsen in the slot. Scary, and it looks like Ramirez out far right on this one. Medina looks inside, and it's nearly picked off that time in the area for the Deacons. That's Caden Bynick, a senior.
Caden's going to want another opportunity at that one. I think he was looking more at the tight end here coming across the way for the West Fargo Packers again, and Sam Olsen saying, all right, I might be able to break this play up instead of, oh, here comes a football.
3rd and 10 in drive number 14 or 15 overall for this game, this first half. Medina looking left, looking center, chucks it to Scary, absorbs the contact, he hauls it into the 35. Another big gain. Medina's starting to figure out the Shanley defense.
I love the way this Scary kind of plays. Going to old high school football name here, kind of like a Ryan Smith from the Wahpeton Huskies, with how Scary kind of is built, and not so much in the back end in terms of a running back, but how he likes to scat across this football field, James.
Kind of reminds me of a Julian Edelman if you're going to make a professional comparison, kind of a smaller statue, but really quick, or Wes Welker. Reminds me of that too. As Medina gets sacked. Second sack of the game for the Deacons. And that's going to be Bowden Meyer. That's, I believe, Landon's brother. And Bowden and Landon, they won 3 different titles in the last year. Football, hockey with South Shanley, and American Legion Post 2.
That's not a bad, year of athletic sports in the family right there. They were going back to that old little counter draw, and Meyer was like, okay, I've seen this once or twice. You're not going to be able to get into the halfback's belly. Let's just finish this one off. But with where the football is, James, right now West Fargo still has a timeout left. Again, high school rules, get the first down, get out of bounds. It stops the clock as well. So a chance, to at least not give Shanley a chance to go down and throw a Hail Mary. If you're Jay Gibson, you got 1 or 2 plays to try to get a little bit closer. If there is a deep ball on the way for Medina, go take it. But right now for the West Fargo Packers, we'll see what Coach Jay Gibson draws up offensively.
14, this is drive number 15 total. Started out with Shanley, Landon Meyer rushing touchdown. And then again, 6 passing touchdowns after that for the Deacons. Only had 1 drive where they did not score, Fargo Shanley, and that was on the fumble. But then they scored a safety on the next play. In the gun, Medina on a 2nd and 17, and that's nearly picked. Nice defensive coverage that time to knock it down by Fisher Hannison. It's 3rd down.
As Fargo, you had both Scary and Leo kind of in the same vicinity. You were having one around 10-yard out. The other one looked like it was running about a 10-yard curl coming back to the ball. So trying to get a little bit closer here to the sticks, but unable to do so.
3rd and 17 here, 50-6. Number 1 ranked team of the state, defending state champions, Fargo Shanley. Well out in front right now. But again, I've seen crazier things in the second half. So, but you got to think West Fargo's got to get something out of this here. 7 on the play clock as they break the huddle. Now 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Medina gets it just in time. Looking downfield and was looking for Scary. It hit the ground in front of Leininger. And again, that's the 3rd time this quarter that Scary and Medina have been at least slightly not on the same page.
And a couple of seconds, again, keep going off the clock, but if you don't get it here, you're going to give Fargo Shanley maybe 11, 10 seconds, depending on how long this play goes. If Medina rolls around a little bit to see what they need. They need the 25. I'm right at the 25-yard line, James. They need 20 to get to the 25 here for the first. We'll see if they go for that, or maybe they just chuck it in the end zone and give Leal an opportunity on a 50-50 ball.
10 on the play clock here. To the line they go. 2 left, 1 right, and a whistle. And it's a timeout called by Fargo Shanley.
I saw Fargo Shanley, a couple of coaches came across just seeing what West Fargo had set up, and they had 2 guys back at the first down, so playing more of a blanket coverage than what we've seen throughout this game, which I'll talk it over here too, making sure, this is one where if we were late in a contest, I would say maybe a hook and ladder, to come out here and potentially throw something going, but for Coach Jay Gibson, I've always liked what he's done. Quarterback comes over, talks to him on the sideline, gets the play call. QB goes into the huddle, relays it to the other 10 guys, and then they go. That's what Jay has done throughout his time here for West Fargo.
Well, Jay Gibson's got to be one of the longest tenured head coaches in the state of North Dakota,
without question. And West Fargo Packer fans are going to remember Andy Gravdahl, who, had an opportunity to play with the FM Redhawks this summer, winning a state championship here, defeating Bismarck High in the semifinals on a little bit of a snowy night, and going to the Fargo Dome and defeating Minot High, the Magi. And West Fargo's offense at that time, very reminiscent of how Fargo Shanley's offense. They had a huge senior class and a bunch of dudes on that year's team.
4th and 17 here, 2 left, 1 right. Scary in the slot. Looks like Leo's far left. Medina looking for Scary again, and incomplete. They were on the same page this time, but just couldn't quite haul it in. Once again, good coverage for the Deacons.
Yeah, Cannon Chrisman there on the coverage, and a really good opportunity on the back shoulder play there with, as you mentioned, Ian Scary. And as we mentioned tonight, Fargo Shanley, give credit to Troy Mattern and the coaching staff. They just haven't been off kilter tonight, or they haven't had a guy too many times, James, in the wrong place. They've been everywhere offensively and defensively here this evening.
That's the third turnover on downs for the Packers in the last 4 drives that they had. The other one was they touchdown to Leal, and we're just going to get a kneel down for Meyer. And to be honest, Chase, that's probably the most negative play of the game. It's the only one that hasn't really worked for the Deacons.
Yeah, again, if you're Fargo Shanley, you cannot script it better to start with. And when you get an offensive touchdown and then you come back with a pick 6, you could just kind of feel the air from the West Fargo side go, uh-oh. And when you're going up against a team that has a lot of confidence, that knows what they need to do, like Shanley, and can score the ball, it can be a long night pretty quickly here. And it just isn't West Fargo. It could be anybody that Fargo Shanley's playing this season.
Well, at the half, it's 50-6. Fargo Shanley with the big lead over West Fargo. And we'll take a break. We'll come back with the First Class Mortgage halftime show here on your live event.
AAA Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to our growers. Your trust and fellowship is the driving force behind our dedication to your successful farming operation. We continue to invest in the education of our team to ensure your customer experience is outstanding. Thank you for the opportunity to be your planter experts. Stop by either of our locations in Hillsboro or Drayton, North Dakota, or visit planterdoc.com.
The 2023 R&J Sports Fall Sports Guide is now available in digital format. You can view the 2023 Fall Sports Guide online and on mobile by visiting rnjbroadcasting.com and clicking on the Sports Guide link. View schedules, coaches' bios, and see plenty of photos and tidbits to get ready for the fall sports seasons. The R&J Sports Fall Sports Guide is now online and available at rnjbroadcasting.com.
For 20 years, 702 Communications has been connecting people and businesses to the world through internet, telephone, and TV. And as your needs have changed, so has 702. Our dedication to our community and customers runs deep. So when you call, we listen. And you can trust that we'll never stop working to bring the latest technology to our friends and neighbors. Thank you for 20 years in business. The best is yet to come.
In Hope, North Dakota, we aren't just a town, we're a community, one that you can be proud of, where you and your family can grow. With available jobs, affordable housing, a golf course and pool, the Sportsman Club, and great educational opportunities. There hasn't been a better time to join the Hope community, ideally located between Fargo, Grand Forks, and Jamestown. For more information, go to www.hopend.com. Live, work, and play in Hope, North Dakota.
And at the half on your live event, yourliveevent.com, it's 50-6. Fargo Shanley with a big lead over West Fargo High. Again on the First Class Mortgage halftime show. First Class Mortgage, more than just our company name. It's the way they do business. Whether you're buying a new home or refinancing your existing mortgage, their dedicated team takes the time to understand your financial situation. They provide first-class service, first-class knowledge, and a first-class experience at the lowest interest rates. For more information, go online to firstclasscorp.com, CORP.com. Again at the half, 50-6. Fargo Shanley with a big lead over West Fargo. Taking through the drive summary here in the opening half. Shanley got off and running right away. Took the ball down the field on a 69-yard drive in just about 3 minutes and 12 seconds, ending in a Landon Meyer 1-yard rushing touchdown. And since then, the Deacons have been pretty tough to stop. On successive drives, they scored their second touchdown 10 seconds later off a pick six from Shanley senior Jordan Leininger to make the score by that point 14-0. Drive results after that, West Fargo punt, and then Shanley was looking like they're going to make it 20-0 before a fumble on the goal line from Caden Chrisman. The Packers took it over at the 1. Unfortunately, they could not get out of the end zone and gave up a safety, making it 16-0 Deacons. Deacons would score again on the next offensive drive, the first of 2 touchdowns of the night for Sam Ovshak, 5 yards out to make it 23-0. After another West Fargo punt, the Deacons put it in again, 18 yards this time for Leininger. The extra point was no good, making it 29-0. 29-0 there early in the second quarter. Turnover on downs for the Packers, gave it back for another Ovshak touchdown, make it 36-0. And then West Fargo finally got on the board. Tony Leal, a 14-yard touchdown reception on the next drive. 2-point conversion, no good. Made it 36-6. Deacons would add 2 more touchdowns before the end of the first half. Well, 2 more turnovers on downs for West Fargo. 2 touchdowns went to Jake Kraft. 41 yards, that was the longest touchdown of the game for either side, and Crispin scampered in from 7 yards out as well. So again, 50-6 our score on those drives, and no individual stats here. To be honest, the pace for Shanley was so blistering quick. Kind of gave up on that after the first few drives, but those results tell you all you need to know. Not a lot of negative plays. In fact, probably the most negative play of the game for the Deacons was the kneel down at the end of the first half. West Fargo able to get some things going late in the first half. They're able to move the ball and get some connections, but still only 1 touchdown to show for that. Chase Miller, your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, it just kind of comes back to the old adage of if you start fast, you're going to try to finish fast, and that's what Fargo Shanley did right off the shoot. I mean, 3 minutes, as you mentioned, in that opening drive, then the very first play of the game for West Fargo goes for a pick six for 20-plus yards. So right off the bat, West Fargo was playing with, just an uphill battle, and then they finally, get something positive to happen, but the safety that comes the very next play with that rush game. I just been very impressed with Fargo Shanley. The old adage is, can you do this until November 9th, 10th, when that Dakota Bowl date is going to be, and how can you stay healthy throughout this particular game? So many new faces for Fargo Shanley or West Fargo when it gets to this point of a score, because you start doing the math and you go, all right, 8 points for West Fargo, 8 points for, as much as you can. And not to say that this game is out of hand with the score at 50-6, because that says itself, it's the running time. So you're just not really going to get a ton of possessions here for either squad. So not to say you're going to capitulate if you're West Fargo, and not to say if you're Fargo Shanley, you're just going to run up the middle, a halfback ISO every play. But you're going to be smart as coaching staff to maybe get some other guys and get them some work and see what you can do moving forward. If you lose this game, it doesn't necessarily not mean anything like if you win it with the QRF, and as you alluded to earlier in the broadcast, Bismarck Century, being the last team in, making a run to the Dakota Bowl. That's what it really comes down to. Find a way to get to the dance, get to the tournament. But right now, Fargo Shanley in person, they got it all, is what it kind of feels like. And for Troy Mattern, it's how can you keep this club and this team up after a very impressive win at home against Bismarck High, and try to continue this moving forward with Fargo South next week, and not looking ahead to that Cheyenne game coming up in 2 weeks.
Well said. Good perspective there on our First Class Mortgage halftime show. Again, 50-6, Fargo Shanley with a big lead over West Fargo High. And we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll check some scores around our broadcast tonight, and some other games as well. You're in tune to the First Class Mortgage halftime show here on your live event.
Buying a new home, but worried about the interest rate and terms from your bank? At First Class Mortgage, we'll find a mortgage that fits your needs. Shopping national banks and other lenders for the lowest rate and most affordable terms, saving you time and money. So all you need to worry about is enjoying your new home. First Class Mortgage. Our expertise, your peace of mind. Put an expert to work for you. Call today.
I'm Darian Bitts. I'm confident on and off the field. And when it's time for college, I'm confident Bank of North Dakota will help me make good student loan decisions. Visit bnd.nb.gov/confident.
I'm Doug Gray. I'm confident during the performance and when it's time for college. I'm confident Bank of North Dakota will help me make good student loan decisions. Visit bnd.nd.gov/confident.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
Back on the First Class Mortgage halftime show here on your live event, yourliveevent.com. Chase Miller on the scoreboard.
Final from last night in 3A. Dickinson, Williston out west, 26-6. Midgets over the Coyotes. Dickinson High picks up a victory out west as well. Mandan, Bismarck, Century. 10 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Mandan leads it 14-9 over the Patriots. West Fargo, Cheyenne, Davies. In the third quarter, it's the same after one quarter. 21-7 West Fargo, Cheyenne, and out in the capital city, Bismarck High 49, Bismarck St. Mary's 7. So for Bismarck St. Mary's, James going up again to the highest classes, not resulted in wins. And also Coach Dan Schmeeker is no longer there for St. Mary's, alluding to again the longest tenure coach being Jay Gibson in the state of North Dakota. That again is a look at the 3A. Taking a look at AA, Fargo South defeats Grand Forks Central on the road at Cushman Field 34-0. That is final. And congratulations to a former Valley City State alum Harvey McMahon and the West Fargo Horace Hawks defeating the Devils Lake Firebirds for their first program win in school history on the varsity level. 27-26 the final for Horace. Valley City all over Watford City early in the second quarter, 23-0. And Wahpeton Red River, a little upset brewing, James, in the nightcap at Cushman Field. The Huskies 12, the Rough Riders 10. So we'll see what can happen in that game. Those are a look again at your top two classes in the state of North Dakota, James.
Yeah, and the Rough Riders, correct me if I'm wrong, they're the number 2 team in the state, right?
Yeah, for Grand Forks Red River defeating Jamestown last week. So Fargo North the 1, and if Red River loses, I would assume Fargo South probably vaults up to a 2, and then it's going to be a jumbled mess from 2 on down.
You got any 11A 9-man scores?
Yeah, 11A. Harvey Wells County defeats Thompson, final 21-18 in Harvey earlier tonight. Grafton against Park River area 19-6. Carrington all over Cavalier 33-0. Kindred 26-7. 8 minutes left to go in the third against Hillsborough Central Valley. That game for you here on yourliveevent.com. Mayport CG defeating the Rugby Panthers 22-6 in the third quarter. Lisbon 40-6 over Ellendale Edgeley Column, and Central Cass 14-0 over Northern Cass. On some 9-man scores, Lemoore Litchfield Marion after one half of play 44-12 against Hatton Northwood. And then taking a look at some other scores on the eastern side of the state, Maple River going down to Waimea Lidgerwood starting the second half. James up 20-18 on the Warbirds, and Hankinson defeating Enderlin, or up over Enderlin 41-0. So those are some of the East 9-man scores in the state of North Dakota.
Thank you, Chase. Good rundown of the scores, and we'll take another quick break. When we come back, we'll get Chase's thoughts on the second half, and we'll have the second half kickoff after this on your live event.
Let's get real. Get ready for a place that's big enough to grow and small enough to care. The University of Minnesota Crookston offers more than 35 majors, minors, and certificates. Earn a University of Minnesota degree, where you can make a difference in a close-knit community. Faculty become friends, and friends feel like family. You don't need a big city, just big dreams. The University of Minnesota Crookston. Real, hands-on, and will get you ready for anything.
Every farmer has a good story about picking rocks. Want to hear ours? To this day, we pick rocks on our founder's farm, and they go into every Bell Bank branch we build. How's that for rock-solid commitment?
Every bank wants you to open an account. Then along come sneaky fees. Sneaky, sneaky. If you hate sneaky fees, switch to Bell Bank. We give sneaky fees the boot. Bell Bank.
Back to Packer Stadium. That's the end of the First Class Mortgage halftime show. First Class Mortgage, more than just their company names, the way they do business, whether you're buying a new home or refinancing your existing mortgage, dedicated team takes the time to understand your financial situation. They provide first-class service, first-class knowledge, and a first-class experience at the lowest interest rates. For more information, firstclasscorp.com. And that'll wrap up our First Class Mortgage halftime show. We're going to get to the kickoff here. Chase, quick thoughts on the second half for both teams.
Yeah, I'm going to be curious to see both offensively and defensively who comes out as starters, who might be some new faces coming in. That'll be the first thing that I'm going to look at. And then also, how much do you really want to show moving forward if you're either club? West Fargo, the cat and mouse game, as we alluded to, you're going to have chances one-on-one down the field with how Shanley's playing that box and trying to take the running game away. On the opposite side for Fargo, Shanley, I don't think you're going to really broke what's not need to be fixed, so to speak, James. No, quick passes. When you need to run, do it, but they're going to find to get the guys and their playmakers the ball in space, and that's what they're going to do all season.
And again, we'll have the running clock here as the Deacons are up 44. As there's the kick. And Scary is going to field it there inside the 10, 15, 20. Right hash, 25, 30. Look at this. And it closes quickly. There on the tackle there by Busick. Scary had a chance to squeak through. Definitely Wes Welker vibes coming off there.
Yeah, and for Jay Gibson, only a sophomore. So for West Fargo Packer fans, circle this guy's name for the next couple of years. Scary's going to be a fun player to watch. And a really good wrap-up tackle there by Carson Busick in space.
Ball spotted at the 32 on the right hash. Medina does come out there for West Fargo. On this at least first drive of the second half. 3 left, as that's going to be a false start there against the Pack. Back them up 5 yards.
Yeah, for West Fargo here, James, it looks like pretty much their starting lineup is back out here. And again, second game of the season, so a chance to get quality reps. Still try to work out some things. They defeated Bismarck Century, a little bit different of an outcome, 46-40, and just a back-and-forth game. Medina had a phenomenal game out in the bowl, came up a little bit short, but still early on the season looking to get some reps here against a quality Deacon team.
3 left here. Again, Leal, Ramirez, and Scary to the left. They are still out there as Medina. 1st and 15. Chucks it downfield and overthrows his man. Tony Leal makes it a 2nd and 15.
Max Sorensen providing some pressure. Coming in on that holding. Deutsch here, the 6-foot for the junior, providing some pressure there on Medina. Looking for a little hitch and go. Just the go was never really there. Really good coverage here by Fargo Shanley.
Ball again spotted at the 27 on a 2nd and 15. Shanley again winning 35-7 over Bismarck in the season opener on their new turf, new field. It's a handoff and gain of about 3 that time. Looks like that's Hoffland again on the carry. Maybe 2 yards to the 29. It's 3rd and 12.
Nick Cool, the defensive end spot or defensive line spot, just bull rushed the offensive lineman that had to make the running back there for the West Fargo Packers, and Hoffland had to kind of juke already in the backfield.
2 to the left, 2 to the right here now. Leal far right, Olsen in the slot left, Scary slot right. Looks like Ramirez out far left. 3rd and 12. Medina downfield looking for Ramirez, just overthrew him. 4th down there for the Pack. And 10:24 and counting. As I mentioned, the Deacons opened up with a win on their new turf. The last time the Deacons had a brand new field, I stormed it when I was at about sophomore year of high school. So shout out to Coach Mattern and the squad there for getting the ability to experience that. And with that new field comes a new track as well. First time, I think, ever Fargo Shanley has had a track, at least around their home football field. Punt coming there for West Fargo, 4th and 12. Deacons out on their own 40 as it's a bouncer. Ball knuckled and fielded there at the 45 by Chrisman. Deacon 45, that is.
1 minute left to go in the third quarter at West Fargo Cheyenne. Getting a little closer. Mustangs 14, Mustangs 21, Fargo Davies, James 14.
Eagles trying to fly into this one against the Mustangs. Again, a shout out to Horace as well. I know Chase mentioned it in the halftime, but shout out to West Fargo Horace on their first win. Definitely won't be their last win, that's for sure. Ball spotted at the Deacon 45 here with 9:43 to go in the third quarter. 2 right, 2 left here as Meyer is back out there. Or excuse me, it is not Meyer. Excuse me, got a new quarterback out there. That is Jax Mattern, the sophomore. And he tossed it out to Gabe Danduran for a pickup of about 5.6 to the 49 and a 2nd and 4. 2 right, 2 left. Mattern, handoff, Danduran. And that's going to be a loss of a yard or 2. Brings up 3rd down.
A couple of new faces coming in here for Fargo Shanley, as you mentioned, in the backfield and at quarterback. With the coach's son there, Jack, so get him an opportunity. And, well, what do you do from the very first play of the game? You throw the quick screen. So nothing's going to change here, James, in the second half either.
It'll be a 3rd and 6 at the Deacon 49. 3 left, 1 right. Mattern looking for Leininger, and that's incomplete. That's the first 3 and out of the, assuming they're going to punt it away, that would be the first 3 and out of the contest for the Deacons. So Mattern's still out there unless he's going to punt it himself. And it looks like they'll stay out there. Go for it on 4th down. 3 left, 1 right. Mattern in the backfield. Takes the snap, rolls right, looking right, chucks it to the sticks, got a 1st down. Out across the 45 to about the 42. There that time for Ovshak. And the drive continues.
Yeah, that was a really good throw. You just move your quarterback out to the right-hand side. There's really one man going in the pattern. That was Sam. He was the intended coverage, and a good-looking throw there by Mattern. Not so much, James. I don't believe it's more of a trying to run up the score. This is more so you're just getting guys some reps, getting them opportunities on Friday Night Lights, and with the clock moving, whether you get it or not, it kind of game's in hand right now again for the Deacons.
Handoff up the middle. Couple of churns there for Danduran. Again, just 1 rushing touchdown of the 7 for the Deacons. That was by Landon Meyer. He accounted for all 7 of the Deacons' touchdowns. So if the Deacons score this half, it looks like it won't come from Meyer. As it's a gain of 4 up to the 38. It's a 2nd and 6. Chucked left, Leininger, 35, 30. Nice move there up to about the 25. Another 1st down for Fargo Shanley.
Really good pursuit by Philip Masog here for the West Fargo Packers. That defensive end came all the way and really covered a lot of ground to make that tackle in open space.
Gain of 11 on the pass from Mattern. Brings up a 1st and 10 there. Ball spotted on the left hash. So it looks like most of the first offense is out there. Just a change at quarterback, maybe a couple of other spots. Toss to the end zone. Touchdown! Mattern, I believe his first touchdown of the season. He hits Ovshak for his 3rd touchdown of the game.
We were talking about the one-on-one opportunities for the West Fargo Packers, where there was a one-on-one opportunity here for Fargo Shanley, and Mattern threw a beautiful ball to give his man an opportunity at that one and get right in the end zone.
Extra point, Berg is on for that. And as it's now 56-6, snap, spot, kick is up, and it is good.
Number 13, Matthew Berg's kick is good.
As it's now 57-6. Fargo Shanley adds more to the tally. 5:59 to go in the 3rd. Back after this on your live event.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in North Dakota. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the NDHSAA and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
And back out of the timeout, 57-6. Fargo Shanley, big time lead over West Fargo. As Packers will get the ball back here, we'll see if they make any changes to their alignment. As again, the lights in full force here at Packer Stadium, an hour 48 minutes into this one.
Number 5, Ian Scary, and number 24, Owen Scoville.
Scary and Scoville back to receive for the Packers. Again, with just that one touchdown in the first half belonging to Tony Leal. Berg's had a busy night tonight, making all his extra points except for one that was blocked in the first half. There's the kick. Bounce at the 29. Far side, and a return of about 6 yards or so to the 35. That's where West Fargo will begin here this drive, and Medina's going to come back out.
Going back to the kicker here for Shanley, they've had some really good ones over the years, and talking with coaches Troy and Jay, they all say it. In high school football, if you have a kicker who you feel comfortable with, whether it's 25 yards out, James, or even 40, 50 yards out, that's a real weapon to have, especially once you get to late game situations, end of half situations. And Fargo Shanley's kind of had an embarrassment of riches, if you will, for high school kickers over the years.
Yeah, of course, most notably Emmett Kenny, who last I knew was still at Stanford. Not sure if he still is there anymore. 3 to the right as Medina rolls that way. Chucks it towards the sidelines. Ascari comes out of bounds, a gain of about 7. It'll be 2nd and 3.
I like that play, though. You just get Medina out in the boundary a little bit, allow him to kind of move left to right. Very similar play that we saw with Mattern on the opposite side, on that 4th down play, rolling out and getting into the boundary.
2nd and 3 here for the Pack in that running clock. A 57-6 score. Top-ranked Deacons look like they're going to hold on to that top ranking going into next week. Medina 2 to the left. Handoff. And a couple of yards there for Hoffland. Brings up a 3rd and about 1. And they'll say first down.
Results in a Packer first down.
So they move the chains. Leal and Scari and Ramirez head out to the left. High formation there with Hoffland behind Medina on a 1st and 10. Fake the handoff over the middle. Scari wide open. He lost the ball, and it's up for grabs, and Deacons have it. Just when you think they're going to break away, get a big play, Fargo Shanley's right there.
Yeah, give credit to Cannon Busick, one of the guys that was able to come in and make the play. And again, you just don't give up on a play. Don't give up on a whistle. Really nice move on the way by Scari to, get that deep post pattern and able to make some yards here for West Fargo. But then here's the ball on the turf, and there's 1, 2, 3 white jerseys, around that ball, James, to come up with the fumble recovery.
If you don't count the turnovers on downs for West Fargo, turnover ratio is +1 in favor of the Deacons. Fargo Shanley, of course, that fumble on the goal line by Chrisman, but Medina with a pick, and then that fumble there by Scari. So 57-6, 4.5 to go in the 3rd quarter. Mattern back to pass out of the backfield, 25, and to get a bunch of flags as that one's coming back.
I'm going to get a holding on the wide receiver on your near side, my far sideline, now going from the West Fargo to Fargo Shanley sideline here. But, yeah, just right away, just going to be a hold or a block in the back on the wide receiver, James.
Back it up there from the 27s where they got it spotted right now. Should be from the spot of the foul. Yeah, it's going to be a holding there, as Chase mentioned, and that's going to go all the way up to Should be about the 17. Or actually the 12. 15 yards. So back the Deacons up to the 12-yard line. Believe their worst field position, whether starting or in a drive itself, of the game. 2 right, 2 left here for Mattern, the backup. As it's a pass out to the right-hand side and a catch out near the 20 for Jake Kraft, who has a touchdown. In fact, he has the longest touchdown of the game at 41 yards.
Number 21, Jake Kraft. He's tackled by number
They'll bring up a second down at about 13. As time continues to wind down here on this running clock. Stoppages for change of possession, timeouts, scores, injured players. Otherwise, it'll keep on rolling. 3 to the right, 1 to the left here for Mattern and company. Those white jerseys, red helmets going right to left on that screen. Mattern, another quick pass to the right-hand side. And not much doing there. Brings up a 3rd and long.
And in Samick, also Max was in on the defensive stop there for the West Fargo Packers. It's probably one of the better times, even though it was on to the short side of the field, that West Fargo really did a good job just containing the Deacon wide receiver in space there on that quick screen.
3rd and I'll say 11, maybe a long 11, 3rd and 12 or so. On the Deacon 20, just inside the Deacon 20. Now the Deacons outscoring their opponents so far in the first 2 games of the season, 92-13. As that's a pass out in the flat, out to the 25. Won't be enough for a first down there. That time for Hannison. And looks like the Deacons will be on a punt here on 4th.
Yeah, they got the offense still on. I don't know if Troy's really going to punt, and that's, again, no disrespect to West Fargo, just kind of where it is right now. Get your guys some reps on offense and let it go.
Well, they'll take it inside of 2 minutes here in the 3rd quarter. And so on a 4th and 7, we'll see if they drop here. Couple receivers left, couple receivers right. Mattern. At least they might maybe at least try to get him to jump off sides. That might have been the case. And they let it go down, and they call a timeout. 1:42 remains here in the 3rd quarter. 57-6, Fargo Shanley leading West Fargo. Back here in your live event.
Keep your job site stocked with reliable service from Prairie Supply Inc., the contractor's headquarters. Our team specializes in everything concrete. That means hand tools and equipment, rebar of all shapes and sizes, concrete forming packages and ICFs, decorative concrete materials like color, stain, sealers, and coatings. And let's not forget our impressive fleet of winter construction equipment to keep the concrete flowing all year round. If you've got concrete questions, we've got concrete answers at Prairie Supply Inc., the contractor's headquarters. Visit us today at any of our 6 locations.
Out of the timeout, 57-6, 1:42 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Barring a miracle comeback by the Packers, the Deacons will go to 2-0, and the Pack will drop to 0-2 to start the year. 2 right, 2 left here. They come back out. The offense does for a 4th and 7. Mattern in the gun. Takes the snap, looking, couple of fakes, nearly ran into the referee, scrabbling around, he's still going, he finds a man in open space, 25, 30, 35, out of bounds for a first down. What a scramble there as he finds Chad Pollock out of the backfield for a first down.
That's the definition of when it's your night. It's your night, because that looked like the first time that we were going to say there's 2 or 3 West Fargo Packers into the pocket of where Shanley quarterback was, but really good pursuit, but just better job on the way here for Mattern, as Jack's kind of looking like Jake the Snake a little bit there.
Reminds me of a different set of Packers. Reminds me of guys like Aaron Rodgers scrambling away from my Vikings defenders and making something out of nothing. Great play there for the young QB. 53 seconds and counting, a 1st and 10 at the Deacon 38. Might be the last play here of the 3rd quarter. Mattern gets it out in space on the right-hand side, up across the 40 to about the 44 to Derek Boehm, the sophomore. And that should indeed be the last play of the third quarter. And again, the Deacons do go to their sidelines. At the end of the third quarter, it's 57-6. Fargo Shanley on their way to a 2-0 start. We're back for the fourth quarter in your live event.
This is Chris Brecken from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to our growers. Your trust and fellowship is the driving force behind our dedication to your successful farming operation. We continue to invest in the education of our team to ensure your customer experience is outstanding. Thank you for the opportunity to be your planter experts. Stop by either of our locations in Hillsboro or Drayton, North Dakota, or visit planterdoc.com.
The 2023 R&J Sports Fall Sports Guide is now available in digital format. You can view the 2023 Fall Sports Guide online and on mobile by visiting rnjbroadcasting.com and clicking on the Sports Guide link. View schedules, coaches' bios, and see plenty of photos and tidbits to get ready for the fall sports seasons. The R&J Sports Fall Sports Guide is now online and available at rnjbroadcasting.com.
And for the start of the fourth quarter here on your live event, yourliveevent.com, James Martins, Chase Miller on the sidelines, Grace Lear running that camera as the Deacons come out on a 2nd and 5. Running clock here, they lead again 57-6. Fargo Shanley, top team in 3A, top class in the states. West Fargo Packers did receive votes in this last week's poll.
You could argue West Fargo had the toughest schedule to start the season in 3A, you know, going to Bismarck, Century, and then Shanley. Last year's two teams that made the Dakota Bowl and two teams who want to find a way to get back to the Fargo Dome this season.
On a 2nd and 5, nearly another pick six that time. That was nearly time of the round. Aiden Samek, the sophomore, nearly took that one to the house. That's the third time that West Fargo's nearly had a pick six. A long time after Shanley's Leininger got a pick six in the early part of the game. And the clock will continue to run, whether the pass is incomplete or not. Incomplete or complete. How's football Friday nights? Winding down, lots of games going final or getting close to that across the state. Two left, two right here on a 3rd and 5. For the Deacons. Mattern looking, cross the middle, got a man wide open. 40, 35, 30. Down from behind to the 29. And a great catch that time. First catch of the game for John Eaton, 5'7" sophomore.
Yeah, all of a sudden you just have Corbin Youngmare all going to the boundary, and that just opens up the middle. You just kind of, all the eyes look at the running back, then here comes the slot receiver just running right down Main Street.
Under 11 and counting here in this one. Don't forget, we'll have our Tommy's Express Car Wash postgame show after this. Chase Miller will catch up with a player or two and head coach Troy Mattern after the game. And then we'll take a look at stats and storyline here and scores around the state. Mattern, handoff. And that's a handoff there to Corbin Youngmark. The freshman that Chase alluded to earlier, he gets a couple of yards on that one. Brings up a 2nd and about 7-8.
The team that Fargo Shanley plays next week, Fargo South, with a 38-rip win at Grand Forks Central earlier tonight. On the opposite side, West Fargo places Bismarck Legacy down 28-0 in the first half in the Magic City against the Magi, James.
Of course, Shanley and South, so odd to see that they're in different classes now. Has 3 to the left, 1 to the right here for Mattern and company. Takes the snap, back to pass. Nice comeback route that time. A couple of nice moves on his way to the end zone. Just out of bounds at the 3 for Jake Kraft, who nearly had his 2nd touchdown of the game.
He's pushed out of bounds by a couple of Packers, including
And Chase, again, 3A versus 2A. How does the scheduling work for something like that when 3A has such a few teams?
Yeah, the QRF, as we were talking about earlier in the broadcast with these playoffs, the game still matters if you lose or you win. Your QRF points, kind of like a BCS version for high school, right? It'll go up or go down. So you still want to win your games, James, whether it is against a conference foe or not.
First and goal, the 2. And we get a whistle and a timeout, West Fargo.
But going back to the QRF again, it's something that Minnesota definitely has used because there's so many sections and so many teams and you're not getting enough crossover scores. The old EDC and WDA days when it was Class 3A and Fargo South, Fargo North, was in the same division as you were alluding to, James. It was just simple. Top 4 teams make it, 4 goes to 1 and vice versa. But now with the imbalance in 3A in the East being so few, but 2A in the East, has its own conference, while it's the opposite out West. You go to QRF standings, so you can still travel, minimize travel as much as you possibly want. Williston versus Watford City as an example. But if you lose, like if Fargo Shanley, for example, loses to South, sure, it's not against a 3A team, but in the QRF standings, if someone else was to run the table and Shanley has one loss, even if it's head-to-head against that team, James, all of a sudden you look and Shanley could possibly be a 2 seed, going to that postseason. So as long as you're a 1 or a 2, that's really all that matters at the end of the day, because that means you would host the quarters, you would host the semis before you would get to that championship.
Jay Gibson calling that the decision disappointing, going to the QRF and away from the old EDC WDA. First and goal still at the 2. Handoff towards the end zone. Busick had an opportunity, but a window closed. Good in on the tackle there that time for West Fargo by Caleb Adai. Man, ball spotted at the 3. Loss of a yard. Makes it second and goal. Again, a lot more of that second unit out there. The first unit for the Deacons pretty much all off the field now. Leininger, Ovshak, Chrisman. They're all off on the sidelines now. Second and 3. Mattern scrambling, chucking to the end zone. Incomplete. Brings up a third and goal.
Good coverage in the back end by Jacob Scholand here for the West Fargo Packers. Mattern, they were wanting to run a speed option, but by the time the running back got in front of them, there was just really nowhere to go. So just trying to make a play happen there for Fargo Shanley.
Good goal line defense so far for the Packers. Looks like their second unit out there right now. Kind of trying to catch guys on the line here by numbers. You got Philip Massag and Greg Dimmer is out there right now for the Pack. Jacob Scholand is out there as well, as Chase alluded to. Of course, Dye out there right now for the Packers. Tony Leo still out there, looks like, on defense as well. Third and 3. Third and goal at the 3. Time beginning to wind down here at Packer Stadium. Mattern slings it. Picked off. And that's a good pick by Scholand, the junior. And West Fargo's able to make a stand.
Yeah, Scholand read that one perfectly. He was just seeing to see where the receiver was going to go, and right when that just came on a quick slant, able to meet the ball before the receiver was going to go meet the ball, and Scholand did a really good job, back-to-back defensive plays for the Packers.
And that's going to stand out to Coach Gibson. There as Scholand's made some nice plays here, especially in the second half. 7:09 remaining here in the contest, 57-6. It was a 50-6 halftime lead for the Deacons, so just one additional touchdown. Of course, with that running clock, that's not unusual. As looks like we'll likely have a new quarterback out there for West Fargo, and it's going to be Dylan Nichols, another senior, 6'2", 200. 3 right and 1 split up more to tight end side left. It's Odin McAllister for the Packers. Toss. And that's complete across the 30 to the 35 there that time. Looks like that's Max Rotato there getting the catch again for the backup, Dylan Nichols. Out to the 34. Or 5, excuse me, not 15. Scary with the catch. Scary still out there. And it's a 1st and 10 at their own 34 for the Pack. 3 left, none right. Hand off, up the middle. Some space out to the left-hand side. 40, 45, 50. Out to the Deacon, 45. Nice running there that time by the backup running back, Chase Jerfstead. To the 45.
This is what you want to see, get some guys into the game, make some plays, and they can build some confidence. And a handful of these guys that are in there right now, to a majority of them are JV players. So 2nd game of the week for them, James.
Absolutely. And get some of the seniors, JV seniors in there. There's 12 seniors on this West Fargo squad, and we got a penalty. Looks like a offsides against the Deacons. And couldn't quite get the number out there, but it was up the middle.
Update for you, James, from Cheyenne. West Fargo, Cheyenne 21, Fargo Davies 14 with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th quarter.
Very important game, 2 versus 4. At least in the rankings, but again, we talked so much about the QRF rankings. Doesn't matter quite as much. Nichols airs it out, and incomplete. Looking for Sholin, who had the interception to get that drive going, but he might get some help. A couple of flags out there. 5:46 remains in the contest. And we'll get the call here. This is gonna be pass interference against the Deacons. So move the ball up 15 yards. Up to near the 25. Spotted at just outside the 25. Packers on the move here, trying to at least even up the half, as the Deacons have scored 7 this half. 3 to the right, none left for Nichols and company. Nichols back to pass. Looking deep down the field, had a man, just overthrew him. Intended receiver was Lance Williams, the junior. Brings up a 2nd and 10.
You're starting to see, again, West Fargo just air it out a little bit, have some opportunities, give some other guys a chance here. And you just look at the guys moving forward again. This Friday Night Lights experience, you hear from coaches say it all the time. When you can put them in, even if it's a loss or a win, just get them used to what it's playing under these conditions.
Nichols hands it off to Jerfstead. And up the middle for close to a 1st down. It'll be 3rd and short. And again, not just getting these kids opportunities, but letting these kids have a little fun out there. I mean, there's a lot of pressure, especially on high school athletes. Just letting them remember how much fun it is. Just get out and play and be active with your friends and your teammates. Jerfstead gets the handoff up the middle, across the 15, and that's a 1st down.
Another hard run by Jerfstead results in a Packer 1st down.
See if West Fargo can punch it in at least one more time before the end of the game, as we're kind of getting down to the final few minutes here for our Tommy's Express Car Wash postgame show. 2 right, 1 left on a 1st and 10. Nichols rolls left, throws left into double coverage. It's incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10. Again, as we've mentioned all game long, it was basically the Deacons. They got out to a hot start and couldn't be caught there by West Fargo. As the #1 ranked team in the Class 3A in the state will keep that ranking. Nichols, I think someone jumped early there. And it is a false start. Move the Pack back 5 yards. Bring up a 2nd and 15.
And you go look at the team schedules moving forward here for West Fargo. Again, they'll host Legacy a week from tonight. Then go to Davies at Bismarck High before playing St. Mary's. Then a tough 3 games to end this season. Cheyenne North and Minot. Those are going to be 3 tough games for the Packers at the end of the year.
2nd and 15 here. Nichols in the gun. 3 right, none left. Jervstead in the backfield as well. Nichols airs it out. Looking for that same man he went to last time. It's incomplete. Just bobbled there for Williams.
On the opposite side for Fargo, Shanley, as we alluded to, South and Cheyenne. Then they go to the Bowl to play Bismarck Century, host Legacy. And they got a good couple back-to-back games at Davies, home to Mandan, then at St. Mary's before the postseason would begin for these teams the following weekend.
On a 3rd and 15. Under 3 minutes to go here. Nichols, hand off, Jervestead. Well, he's had some nice runs tonight. Inside the 5. Down at about the 4. And got to tell you, it's too bad this guy's a senior. So if he was a sophomore or freshman, he might develop into a really nice player. Not saying he isn't right now. I think a guy like Jervestead, he'd probably be the lead back on maybe a Class 2A team or 11A or 9-man team for sure. As Jervestead gets in for the touchdown. Chase Jervestead, 5'8" senior fullback, gets in for the score. It's 57-12.
Good-looking drive there for the West Fargo Packers. Good job by Chase, as you alluded to have a couple of really nice runs throughout that particular drive. And you know what Jay Gibson likes to do throughout the year, no matter if you're a freshman or a senior, he's going to put you in different positions, and I wouldn't be surprised, James, if we say Chase out here more and more as the season progresses.
2-point conversion on the way, and it's going to be Jervestead again doing it all there. So touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Makes it now 57-14, 98 seconds to go in the game. Might as well just keep it here, as the Deacons will likely receive it and kneel it down a couple of times to end the contest. Well, again, coming up, we got our Tommy's Express Car Wash postgame show. Chase will catch up with a couple of players, and Shanley head coach Troy Mattern on the win. And we'll take a look at some score updates from around the region, around the area and the state. And we'll kind of do a quick recap of the game here for you before the night is out, before you get on your Labor Day weekend adventures. Great way to start Labor Day weekend, football Friday night. And it was only for the second time today. Loria is going to kick it off. Tony Loria, the 6'4" junior. And nice kick inside the 25. Fielded there and across the 25 there near the 30. On the return, that's Derek Bame. 125 remaining. Kneel down a couple of times should do it.
Couple updated scores for you, James, across the state. Valley City defeats Watford City 30-0 in AA football here, and Red River leads 23-12 over Wapaton with just under 7 minutes to play. So the Rough Riders coming back in that game with the Huskies.
Yeah, Huskies were smelling upset, but Red River looks like they're going to hold them off, and looks like they may maintain that second ranking in the state Class 2A, of course, behind Fargo North.
Much appreciated by the grounds crew. And it's the right thing to do. Please help us clean up your trash.
Shanley's going to go to 2-0 on the season. West Fargo will drop to 0-2 on the year. And again, lots of football left to be played, as they will do a handoff here across the 35. Good to see that they're going to continue to play the game out here. Youngmark got the carry. Out across the 35 to the 36. And with just over 60 seconds to go, probably have time for one, maybe two more plays here on this one. 2 left, 2 right. As we get a whistle and a flag. False start going against the Deacons. And we'll stop the clock there at 51 seconds. Moves it back to the 31-yard line. Game time going to be just under 2 hours and 20, 2 hours and 20 minutes looks like for this one. Clock is now running. Again, the Deacons, they just need to run one more play, and that'll do it for the game. And it looks like they will run a conventional play here at least. And handoff towards the sideline. Youngmark with the carry. That should just about do it here.
Also a final at Cheyenne. Mustangs 21, Davies 14.
Davies got close, but they could not eclipse the Stangs. Mustangs will hold on to that top 2 ranking as well. As the clock expires on this one, the final score, 57-14. Fargo Shanley with a big win over West Fargo. As the Deacons move to 2-0, the Packers go to 0-2 on the season. We'll step away here. We'll be back for our Tommy's Express Car Wash postgame show next on your live event.
For 20 years, 702 Communications has been connecting people and businesses to the world through internet, telephone, and TV. And as your needs have changed, so has 702. Our dedication to our community and customers runs deep. So when you call, we listen. And you can trust that we'll never stop working to bring the latest technology to our friends and neighbors. Thank you for 20 years in business. The best is yet to come.
In Hope, North Dakota, we aren't just a town, we're a community, one that you can be proud of, where you and your family can grow. With available jobs, affordable housing, a golf course and pool, the Sportsman Club, and great educational opportunities. There hasn't been a better time to join the Hope community, ideally located between Fargo, Grand Forks, and Jamestown. For more information, go to www.hopend.com. Live, work, and play in Hope, North Dakota.
Buying a new home, but worried about the interest rate and terms from your bank? At First Class Mortgage, we'll find a mortgage that fits your needs. Shopping national banks and other lenders for the lowest rate and most affordable terms. Saving you time and money. So all you need to worry about is enjoying your new home. First Class Mortgage. Our expertise, your peace of mind. Put an expert to work for you. Call today.
I'm Darian Bitts. I'm confident on and off the field. And when it's time for college, I'm confident Bank of North Dakota will help me make good student loan decisions. Visit bnd.nd.gov/confident.
I'm Doug Gray. I'm confident during the performance and when it's time for college. I'm confident Bank of North Dakota will help me make good student loan decisions. Visit bnd.nd.gov/confident.
And welcome back to Packer Stadium. It's the final score, 57-14. Fargo Shanley, big win over West Fargo here on the Tommy's Express Car Wash post-game show. Love your ride at Tommy's Express Car Wash. Sign up for the Tommy Club through the app today, and new members get their first 30 days free. Tommy's Express Car Wash with 2 locations in Fargo and 2 in Moorhead. They have the tools and the expertise to keep your car clean inside and out. Let's take a recap of the game here. Our little drive summary. Shanley got off to the races right away. Landon Meyer, who accounted for 7 touchdowns, 7 of the team's 8 touchdowns in the game, was able to run it in from a yard out. Just 3 minutes, 12 seconds to take the ball 69 yards down the field. Deacons were up 7-0 at that point. They never trailed the rest of the game. In fact, they scored the first 36 points of the game with touchdowns from a pick six from Jordan Leininger, and then a pair of touchdowns in the first half from Sam Ovshak, as well a touchdown 41 yards out from Jake Kraft. all that to make the score, and a touchdown as well from Caden Chrisman. All that to make the score 50-6 at the end of the half. The only score for the Packers in the first half was Tony Leo with a 14-yard touchdown late in the second quarter. It's pretty much all Deacons there in that first half. They got a safety. The only thing off of a fumble, they fumbled from Caden Chrisman, turned into a tough field position for West Fargo, and then the next play was a safety. So everything went Shanley's way in that first half. Second half, both teams had a touchdown. Ovshak got his third of the game, and then Jervstead for West Fargo. Chase Jervstead picked up a rushing touchdown in the end of the contest. Interceptions again by Leininger with that pick six as well. West Fargo an interception late by Jacob Scholand. And again, a couple of fumbles, one on each side for the Deacons and for the Packers. So again, 57-14 in the final score here. Shanley moves to 2-0 on the season, and West Fargo goes to 0-2 on the year. Again, next up for the Deacons, they've got Fargo South. And then West Fargo escapes me who their next opponent is at the moment. So,
all right, James, let's toss it down here as we got head coach Troy Mattern with us. Troy, first and foremost, congratulations on the win. Get to 2-0 on the season. Let's just talk about that start. West Fargo defers, you go down, you get the touchdown, then all of a sudden coming across there, Jordan Leininger reads the route, you get up 14-0 in the blink of an eye. What does a start like that do for this year's football team?
Well, I think you saw it was huge. I think if there's anything that we had last year, it was just our starts. And to be able to start fast in both our first two games, very proud of it. I thought our tempo was really good offensively. And then when you get, like you said, when you get that 14-point lead, it allowed our defense to pin their ears back a little bit, play a little more confidence, a little more aggressive, and I think that showed in the first half.
I know with, Michael Rotsberg being just a tremendous quarterback, but you come in with a guy that's a senior, a guy that's been there, done that, been in this system with Meyer, took control of the offense again here tonight. What does Landon bring to this year's team?
He's just a winner. The kid has been in so many big competitions, so many big games. Nothing will affect him. It showed tonight. And, this is his second varsity start, so he's still learning. He didn't play quarterback since he was a sophomore, so he's still learning the game. And we always talk about your gains from week 1 to week 2, and there's no doubt he got better this week. And we're just excited for his progression that will happen throughout the year.
And on the line play here, kind of getting a couple of tag team duos there on the inside. Nick Kuhl able to have a couple of nice plays. We were going to talk about Luke throughout the game. That safety, I know you fumble at the one, but the very next play when he can get that safety, it kind of stems the tie back in your favor right off the bat.
Yeah, no question. I thought our defense played really well, and we have a lot of experience back on defense. We were going to hang our hat on the defense all season just because we got 8 of 11 starters back. They played in a lot of big games. They got a lot of experience, and we expect especially our interior. We got a lot of strong guys there that can control the line of scrimmage, and I thought we did a good job doing that tonight.
Well, thing for you, Troy, how quick is this team? Because I saw them flying all over the place, and I know you still got a ton of football left, but how fun is it to coach the speed top to bottom for this year's club?
Yeah, like I always talk about, I'll take speed over anything. I think we gave 9 different people the ball in the first half. If we can continue to spread around and just get those mismatches. But yeah, we'll take it. It's fun to coach athletes. It doesn't happen every year, so we're going to enjoy it.
Hey, Troy, thanks so much for your time.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, let's go from Troy. Let's bring in the quarterback here now. James with us, a guy that just found the end zone, and found the end zone some more. A senior, as we mentioned, Landon Meyer. Landon, first and foremost, let's talk about Jordan Leininger a little bit for you. Offense, defense, he does a little bit of everything for you. Got that pick six, got in the end zone a couple times. What's it like playing with a guy like that?
He's just a great guy. I play with him in the summer as well with baseball, and he's just a great guy. And to set the tone with that pick six on the first defensive play, it's just huge for our team. And just I was working with him all off season. I just know he's a reliable guy, and he's just a great guy off the field as well.
Take us through the speed of this team and how fun is it for you as a quarterback just to get the ball out in space, do a handoff, find running lanes obviously on a quarterback draw. How fun is it for you as a QB just to get the ball into athletes' hands?
It's awesome. Any guy I get who's got speed, and not to mention our linemen keeping up with us. It's great to see they've been putting in the conditioning work, and just any guy's got speed, and I can just trust any of my guys to get the job done.
Your coach just mentioned, Troy, saying how they were going to hold your hat on defense, and without question you guys were flying there too. As a QB, to know that you can do it on both sides of the ball, to know that you're in any contest, how much confidence does that give you now 2 games into this season against Bismarck High and West Fargo?
gives us a ton of confidence, and just to know that I can trust the guys on defense. And I played defense the last 2 years, but this year we just got the guys to do it, and it helps a lot. You get more rest, and just to know that we got guys on defense that are capable of doing the work, it's just great to know.
Final thing for you, Landon, what do you want to take from these first 2 games moving forward? I know you still got a lot of really good football left south, Cheyenne in particular, the next 2 weeks. What do you want to take from the first 2 wins of the season?
It's great to get the first 2 wins, but we always celebrate Friday night, Saturday, new week. And just with the first 2 games going so well, we just put it behind us, and we just got to focus on South after tonight. We celebrate tonight, and after that, we just take it week by week.
Hey, Landon, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck at Fargo South coming up a week from tonight.
Thank you.
That again, Landon Meyer, Enbridge Energy Player of the Game. James, it's to you.
Thanks, Chase. And again, Landon Meyer, our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game. Life takes energy. Enbridge, energy for life. Enbridge.com for career opportunities. That's our Enbridge Player of the Game, Landon Meyer, again accounting for 7 of the team's 8 touchdowns, 6 passing, and 1 rushing. What a game there for the senior quarterback. Let's move right along to our RDK Enterprises. RDK Enterprises precision play of the game. RDK Enterprises of Hillsborough and Drayton for precision planning updates. Information, questions, contact RDK Enterprises, Hillsborough and Drayton, 701-636-2119, or visit planterdoc.com. RDK Enterprises is here to help you. Precision play of the game, I think that was that pick 6 from Jordan Leininger right away. Of course, Shanley goes down the field, 3 minutes, 12 seconds, scores a touchdown. West Fargo got to have a chance to respond, to kind of hang tough with the Deacons, and Leininger kind of closes the door on that right away, and the Deacons never looked back. So that's my RDK precision play of the game from RDK Enterprises. Here on our Tommy's Express Car Wash post-game show. Again, love your ride at Tommy's Express Car Wash. Sign up for the Tommy Club through the app today, and new members get their first 30 days free. Tommy's Express Car Wash, 2 locations at Fargo, 2 in Moorhead. Got the tools and the expertise. Keep your car clean inside and out. Chase, final scores, final thoughts on the game here tonight.
Yeah, West Fargo Cheyenne picks up a win. So, the Deacons and the Mustangs kind of going toe-to-toe on that one. Final thoughts, Fargo Shanley's got speed. If you don't got speed, they're going to find different ways to slice and dice you on the opposite side for West Fargo. Self-inflicted wounds, just a couple too many of those. But at the end of the day, still the second week. They'll continue to learn and see if they can get a W next week against Bismarck Legacy.
Absolutely. And, I think that'll about wrap up our Tommy's Express Car Wash post-game show. Kind of short and sweet, but to the point. Fargo Shanley moves to 2-0 with a 57-14 win over West Fargo, and the Packers drop to 0-2. Thanks for everybody involved. For Chase Miller on the sidelines, Grace Lear running the camera. For our executive producer, Mark Forseth, marketing director, Jim Burkmeyer, our video graphics, magic video man, Jack Albee, and all the voices behind Your Live Event, yourliveevent.com. From all of us, yourliveevent.com. Enjoy your Labor Day weekend, and check out our next games. That does it for the Tommy's Express Car Wash post-game show. 57-14 Shanley over West Fargo.